Let's get it, everybody. Ben and Woods, 97.3, The Fan. Great to be here with you all on this Wednesday morning. One of the coolest things I think that makes me happy about our intro, our Wednesday intro, which is Jim Morrison is the one screaming at you to wake up. And we faded in. Paulie did a great job at melding it in with Queens of the Stone Age, Better Living Through Chemistry. Is that the singer and founder of Queens of the Stone Age has actually heard that intro. He's heard it, and he loves it. That makes me so very happy. Our friend Craig, he's a Tier 1, great dude. He knows Joshua from Queens of the Stone Age, played it for him, blew his mind. Now, we got to send our warmest wishes out to Josh from Queens of the Stone Age. They had to cancel their European tour. His cancer has returned, and was actually talking to Craig about it last week. Had to get on a plane, fly back, Cedar Sinai, the whole thing, and he's in it right now, man. So one of my favorite bands, one of my favorite people, a very conflicted person. I tend to gravitate towards those type of folk, and I've always just loved him, and I hope he gets better. I'm not ready for a world without Queens of the Stone Age in it yet. So hope he's doing well. Craig, if you're listening, pass along our well wishes. He talks to Josh's family and was getting updates, and things have gotten a little bit better. But I love that he's heard that intro. It makes me like warm and fuzzy inside, much like it makes me when I see our executive producer, Paulie Reindl. Good morning, Paulie.
Good morning.
And Benjamin Higgins also gives me the warms and the fuzzies every day. Good morning, Ben.
Good morning. You know, first of all, best wishes to Josh, of course, but I would like to go on a world tour at some point. Like, try it. I've heard it's gnarly.
Yeah,
when you have
it is.
different cities, like, one night you're in Berlin, and then you're in Munich, and then you're in London, and then you're in Paris, and you don't really get to see the sights or anything.
No,
because
yeah.
You're always working and you're moving around, but I do think that would be an incredible whirlwind to just experience that and do it for like a summer or something with a band.
It's funny you mentioned it because I was DMing last night with Andy from Slightly Stupid, and he is a huge Tier 1 of this program, and he's currently in the middle of a world tour. And I was DMing with him. We were talking Padres. We were talking music, and I said to him, I go, bro, when you're back in town, just come in. Like, come in and hang out. Like, co-host with us. Like, come in. He loves Padres baseball. I love music. We can literally ask him, all right, what's it like to do a world tour? And I would venture to say it's probably different in your 20s, a little bit tougher in your 30s. In your 40s, it's probably almost impossible. In your 50s, it's just work. That's just my job, and I'm going to check in, and I'm going to see you at the venue. We don't need to talk a lot. We don't have to hang out at all.
I was going to say, 50s
what about
and 60s, like the Rolling Stones.
What about when you're in your 80s? Yeah, like
Yeah,
the
just
Rolling
go-
Stones.
They're just going
talk.
through the motions.
I mean, they put on a good show. My mother-in-law just saw them.
I mean,
in,
the whole encompassing
the whole thing.
Like,
My mother-in-law just saw them.
they're not like, I need to see the
I
Eiffel Tower
need to go
again.
see the Louvre. They, yeah, the Louvre. It's from a movie. What did he say? What about the oh no, what was that from? The Louvre. Anyway, so she said they came out. I saw their set list that they did at SoFi. It's unbelievable. It was just like banger, banger. And I go, all right, how was it? She goes, it might be the best I've ever seen them. And she's seen them 25 times. She goes, they sounded so good. They're such a well-oiled machine, like the Rolling Stones now.
Do we think they're actually totally playing everything
Yeah,
at this point?
Now, there may be some backing checks.
Yeah.
But they also have they have backup singers. They have the world's best musicians up there as well. Like, yeah, Keith Richards' guitar, it may be turned way down, but I think he still got a little bit of his fastball left. She said they were amazing. But now the funny part would be they've been doing this for 60 years. Any chance at all they even speak to each other more than 20 minutes after the concert begins or ends.
Not a chance.
No chance. Like Keith and Mick are like, let's get together later. I've got some ideas on a song that I wanted to run by you.
They're like, don't talk to me. Don't even look at me
don't
until
even wanna,
sound
I
check
don't wanna
tomorrow.
see you. There's no sound check. There's no way they sound check. Zero. Like, there's no way. It's all done for
Someone does.
They
They're
roll,
not
they
there.
roll out and they're like, all right, good evening. It just kills me. It kills me to think about. Yeah, a world tour at their level would certainly be a lot more pleasurable than, hey, we're a punk band and we're going to go to Europe and rent a van and drive from Munich to Brussels to all of that in a place we don't know.
From pub to pub.
Yeah, bar to bar. Now, if you're 19, 20 years old, it's nothing like it. It'd be the greatest experience of your life. If you're 45 years old, you're like, oh, man, I don't know if I got another one of these in
Think
me.
about Taylor Swift and the tour that she's been on. I mean,
I can't.
I don't follow it that closely, but every time I see a headline, Philippines, Japan, Europe, South America, wow, that is a true world
It's a world tour. And, obviously the first class way of travel is she is whisked from helicopter to limo to stage and all of that because she can afford it. But yeah, the world tour for me, I don't know that I could do it now. I'd make it about 2 weeks. I'd make it 1 week, and I'd want to rip the Band-Aid off and come home.
We have our Ben and Woods World Tour merch T-shirts.
Forgot
about that, dude. All right, where did we go again? Let's see.
St. Louis.
St. Louis, California.
Here in Dallas.
Here in Dallas. Warsaw, Poland. Reykjavik, Iceland. To Prislav, Bulgaria. Cologne, Germany. Then we went to Istanbul, Turkey. We had a week between shows. We went to Little India. And then another week or so, 4 days, we went to Dublin. Then hit Brussels 6 days later. And then we played TJ, Tijuana, Mexico. And then we finished it up with the hometown show, San Diego, June 17th of 23. I barely remember it.
Get yours now.
Get yours now in the Ben & Woods merch store. I forgot about that, dude. I totally forgot about that. Oh, man. But, no, it's great to be here with you guys this morning. And, obviously watched the All-Star game last night. As much as I could, we had baseball camp into baseball practice last night at Frozen Ropes. So, got to see, bits and pieces. I saw enough of the All-Star game last night to infuriate me. I know that. I did see a couple of things that absolutely infuriated me.
Beyond the uniforms? Or are we starting with the uniforms?
I don't really. Uniforms are. We all agree we should be in our home uniform, our team's uniforms.
I saw everyone coming up with that hot take yesterday. Oh, they should go back to wearing their real uniforms. And I'm like, duh, every single baseball person thinks that.
It's terrible.
No one thinks they should be wearing special uniforms.
Yeah, it was the uniforms look terrible.
Did anyone have the problem I had? Because I was pulling for the National League, obviously.
Yeah, me too. I had money on them.
But I kept cheering for the American League because
hang on.
Yeah, well,
you just kind of slipped that in there. You bet on the All-Star
Of course. I bet on the home run derby the day before.
You bet on the team that had lost 9 of the last 10 All-Star games.
So what does that tell you?
That they're going to lose the 10th out of the 11th.
No, that's not how it works. It means we're due.
But I wonder if anyone had the problem I had, is that I accidentally kept cheering for the American League because I thought they were the Padres wearing City Connect uniforms because the American League had the white with the pink, and some guys even had like the mint undersleeves. They were pretty much close to copying the City Connects, and I kept cheering.
I thought they looked like the Angels more than.
I couldn't stand them, dude. I couldn't. I hated all of it. I hated the hats, the unis, the
They
weird.
didn't scream Texas to me.
No, but I think
the color scheme.
Paulie, they had.
Nor should they.
They had screamed enough Texas for the whole thing.
The whole rest of.
Whoa! It's like having Joe Davis. Oh, yeehaw, everybody! It's time for the All-Star game. Hi there. Get your 6 shooters out. That's actually way too energetic for Joe Davis. Get your 6 shooters out. He's so effing boring. I can't stand it. I can't stand when him and Smoltz are on a broadcast. It makes my blood boil. I think to myself, how? You know how there are people in whatever business that you're in where it seems like the divine hand of God has come down and said, You are the chosen one. It makes no sense that he and Smoltz, who doesn't even like the game, he doesn't even like baseball at all, that the divine hand came down and said, you, my son, and you, my son. Let's put you two butt munches together and get you guys in a room, and you guys do it. It makes... When I turn here's me when I turn the Fox broadcast on. I'm just like this. I like power down every single time.
I just have this ability. I'm able to tune them out.
I tune them. They're so tuned into me, Paulie. It seeps into my brain.
Every
and
time
out of
the
my
Padres
skin.
play on Fox, you'll come in and you're like, can you believe what this mother effer said in the third inning? I'm like, I missed that entirely.
Bro, it's not a bit, right? Like, it's off the air. I'll come in, I'll be like, God, GG's ass. Like, I can't stand it.
I'm more like Paul. It's like it just goes in one ear, out the other ear, and I don't pay attention to it too much.
I don't understand it.
The problem is where you want the Padres to eventually be. Like the dream ends up with them in a series where all 7 games are called by Joe Davis and John Smoltz. That's the dream, right? And you get to the end.
Yeah.
After you get to the NLCS where AJ Pierzynski is probably
Oh
on the
my
call.
God. I just don't get it. And maybe you get Jim Edmonds in there to talk about how crappy baseball is today. Anybody else want to come in and take a dump on the greatest day of the year?
Maybe Tom Brady, when he takes over, he'll just relentlessly slam football the entire time as the new Fox top analyst.
He's already started. Well, we just can't hit the quarterback like we used to. I'm like, you're saying this? You are. You're saying this. Like Tom Brady, who couldn't even breathe on him.
Well, I mean, you had to love David Ortiz getting
Don't even get me started. I mean,
hard-hitting interviews.
Let's hang on to that.
Okay.
Let's hang on to that. Because I can feel my blood pressure starting to rise already. I don't know how you guys can tune Joe Davis. I mean, I know he's very boring, but like it doesn't make you just go like I pounce on it when I hear it.
But it's not a Joe Davis thing. It's just a broadcast. Like when everyone was like, I hate Joe Buck. I'm like, I'm not even hearing what he's saying.
I love Joe Buck.
I hated Troy Aikman on that, whatever.
Love Troy
game.
Aikman.
And I'm just like, I don't hear him. I mean, I'm there to watch the game, and I don't even acknowledge the broadcasters.
I'm trying to think about.
It's like Ben said it, in one ear, out the other.
I'm trying to think about the worst broadcasters I've ever heard in my life. He's got to be number one for me. I mean,
absolutely,
he's got to be number one.
It's to me, it's more just so
it's
so plain and boring.
Plain and non-offensively
It has
boring.
nothing to do with the Dodgers either. I swear to God, it doesn't. I swear to God.
Like, Eduardo is so much worse on Sunday Night Baseball because he talks the nasally.
Can you crack an egg in my throat? Oh, God.
That's way worse.
I guess
if
we
he was
just
bad.
Everybody who complained
But he's
about
also not the lead. He's not the lead guy. Like, he's a color guy.
Right.
You know?
Everybody who complained about Joe Buck for years didn't realize what a great job Joe Buck always.
He's unreal. He's unreal.
I thought people were wrong 10 years ago when they were making fun of Joe Buck.
Me too.
Like, what do you?
I always liked him.
I'm like, bro, he's fine. You don't get the Masters, the Super Bowl, the World Series, like everything that he called during when he was with Fox.
But I think what's his point is you do if you're Joe Davis. You get the World Series.
He gets
at
everything,
least,
man. And I think that's the problem of like.
So maybe that's the same point then. Maybe it is just you have some blinded hatred towards him because, again, if I'm going to say it for Joe Buck, I got to say it for Joe Davis. You don't get that job by sucking.
I get it. But I feel like Joe Buck paid a lot more dues than Joe Davis. That's what I feel like.
I don't know.
I think he was given the crown too early.
You want to talk about Nepo babies? I mean,
no, I just feel like he was given the crown too early. He's not good. He's boring as balls. Like he's so boring.
Right place, right time when Joe retired.
Right place, right time. Yeah, 100%.
But I mean, who else did they even have?
I don't know.
Kevin Burkhardt?
Yeah. Burkhardt's
not
fantastic,
the worst.
dude.
He's better.
He's fantastic.
Just don't even know who else is on Fox. Burkhardt and Rinaldi.
No, not Rinaldi. But yeah, so that was an immediate strike one against the All-Star game. There's a bunch though.
It's a Cadillac problem, but when we have Don and Mud, that's the standard for us here in San
Tough,
Diego.
dude. Give me Orsillo calling the All-Star game every year, and he would knock it out of the park.
And I promise, if you watched
The problem
30 different broadcasts in 30 days, you'd be bored by probably 25.
No question. No question about it.
If anyone ever realized it, though, we'd lose Don
Correct.
completely because
Correct.
he'd be gone all the
Yeah,
time
he'd be
doing all
gone.
the national stuff.
Yep.
Which we don't want.
No,
so.
we do not want.
All right,
Don,
let's-
so Don Orsillo.
Yeah.
Ben says Don Orsillo sucks. Print that. Okay?
With the best of intentions.
That's exactly right.
All right, let's take a quick timeout. We'll come back, set the menu, which again, it's summer break, so we are loose and relaxed and free and easy for the next 4 hours. Glad you've joined us here on a Wednesday. Obviously, we'll talk about the All-Star game, the Padres performances coming up as well. So stick around with Bennett Woods, Kelly, with traffic here, and off we go on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Before we get into the All-Star game last night and the Padres' performances, let's wrap up business from the night before and the Home Run Derby, specifically the National Anthem, which we played for you yesterday in our 6 a.m. hour, talked about it. Everybody was talking about Ingrid Andress's rendition of the National Anthem.
It was rough.
And we found out yesterday why. Because she released a statement.
Read it.
All right. I'm not going to BS you all. I was drunk last night. I'm checking myself into a facility today to get the help I need. This was not me last night. I apologize to MLB, all the fans, and this country I love so much for that rendition. I'll let you all know how rehab is. I hear it's super fun. XO Ingrid. Okay. Is this an immediate get out of jail free card, essentially, when you play that?
I think you never.
Okay, you're getting yourself help.
Well, I think
you admitted you have a problem.
To categorize it as a card to play, I think is probably not the right thing to do. You never know. Like, if she hit bottom on live television, yeah, man, you're on the wrong path. Like, I know a lot of people that have hit bottom. I know a lot of people are still looking for bottom. And I can't imagine doing it in front of millions and millions and millions of people watching. And then the next day, everybody going to their water cooler, their radio show, getting just crushed. Now, we said yesterday, I said, I got the sense that she had a few drinks. I mean, she sounded to me very much like anybody that's ever had a few drinks and tried to
said
sing.
it on the air.
I did.
Yeah. Anybody that's gone to karaoke night.
Yeah. Don't stop believing.
I got friends in low.
Right? We should have done drunken karaoke on Ben and Woods today.
We still have 2 more days of summer break.
We still have 3.5 more hours today. We could probably piece it together.
DoorDash some
booze. I can't. I'm never drinking again. I told you. Trust me. No, I okay. Could it be a PR stunt? Absolutely, it could be. Could it also be this girl was careening down the wrong path and said, "Oh God, I have finally done it,"
and I've hit the green room. Look at all this alcohol.
Look at all this booze. Yeah, man.
Oh God.
Should I feel bad that everybody kind of made fun of it and criticized them?
Absolutely not, because what did I say yesterday? I said when I was getting ready for work, I was in the shower and I thought it was horrible. I mean, objectively, it was a horrible rendition.
The update came out like pretty much right after our show
ended
yesterday. So like if we did afternoons, like we wouldn't even have made fun of the anthem yesterday.
Oh, I would have played it. We still would have played it and said, God, this is terrible.
But we would have known why it was terrible.
But see, like, and I said yesterday, I'm like, I was getting ready. I'm like, man, that's somebody's daughter, somebody's sister, somebody's girlfriend, wife, whatever. I said, that sucks to have it go so poorly for you. I said, but when you put yourself out there as I'm a singer, and it wasn't like they pulled somebody out of the crowd and was like, hey, buddy, you get to sing the national anthem. Like, that would make sense. To look at that, when it came out yesterday, I said, my immediate thought was, good for you. Good for you. I'm a big fan of trying to be as accountable as you can be.
Getting the help you need.
Well, of course, because what's the alternative? Being in denial, not getting help,
correct,
going down even a worse path. So yes, of course, that's a good thing.
I definitely felt like she was loaded. Beans in the chat says she's capping. Hey, like I said,
what does that mean?
She's lying.
Okay.
So she very well may be. She very well may. But like, what would the? I told you guys about anxiety.
I mean,
I remember when I told you about anxiety.
You
Ben?
believe that she was drunk or had too much to drink. That doesn't necessarily mean she has a drinking problem and needs rehab.
Correct.
It may have just been a one-night mistake.
Right.
And does that sound better than
No.
I mean, does it sound like you're not taking responsibility? It's like, I just made a huge mistake. I had like 3 drinks before I went on to settle my nerves. I should not have done that, and I ended up having too much, and I won't do that again. Do you have to say I'm also going to rehab?
No,
just
you don't.
To make it seem legitimate.
Trust me, I've had some benders where I'm like, could probably now. It's different for every person. It's not a uniform disease. It's just not. It's just not a disease where you can say this is how it's done and it's black or white. It's not. There are definite shades of gray there, and the anxiety from My blowout Thursday night in San Diego was horrific. Horrific. I can't imagine the anxiety after that. And waking up or whatever and going, oh, wow, I actually did that. No, I said there's a couple ways you can. I said there's really only one way to mitigate the damage, and that would have been to come on and be like, hey, I blew that. Sorry about that. I blew it. I was nervous. And no one's going to say a word after that. This was definitely a different way to handle it, and I'm glad she's doing it. But holy smokes, man. Holy smokes. Good for her. I do hope that she's like, goes and gets the help that she needs. But I didn't feel bad for playing it on the air at all. I didn't feel, not even in the slightest, because,
it happened.
It happened.
It's out there.
It's newsworthy.
It is?
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, coming up, we will get into the game last night. Padres definitely had an impact on that All-Star game last night. If you didn't watch, we've got our Take on Woods, Don't Do This features coming up in our 7 o'clock hour. But mostly, it is summer break. We're kicking it and having a good time. And
Kicking it, he says.
Kicking it.
Look at you.
I'm not capping. We're kicking it.
We are kicking it.
Here with Ben and Woods on San Diego.
Oh, boy.
Who's this guy?
#1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. All in all, the San Diego Padres acquitted themselves quite well in last night's All-Star game, even though the American League ended up winning 5-3. Going to talk about the performances in the game last night. Do that right after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Kelly Danick.
Guys have been seeing a lot of motorcycle accidents lately, and now we've got one northbound side of the 805 at University. This is in the fast lane, so take it extra carefully there, northbound side of the 805 at University. Fortunately, looking very quiet elsewhere around the county. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
All right, let's just go in a chronological order from last night, starting with the open, the introductions. And as Woodsy called it when we walked in this morning, the over-Texasification of the game last
Good
night.
God. Howdy, buckaroos. It's me, Joe Davis. Get your lassos
And they did they had lassoists on the field.
Oh, yeah.
They had cowboy hats that they were placing on children. Jurickson did that.
They messed with us because the very start of the game broadcast was epic. I thought the drone shot flying in through the doors onto the field was really cool.
Drones are badass.
I'm like, okay,
They really are badass.
here we go.
Man. There's no
MLB.
way.
Then I saw horses running around the field and cowboy hats. I go, oh, here we go.
Mm-hmm. I lived in Texas. I don't know if you guys know this.
Dallas Metroplex area.
Were
you constantly inundated with horses and cowboys at every moment?
I made it, on and off in Texas, let's say like a good solid 16 to 18 years of my, maybe more, 20 years, call it. I never owned a lasso. I saw one. A buddy had one in college. We used to lasso the mailbox after drinking some Lone Star beer. That's a true story. And I got pretty good at it. It was fun. But it's not.
Large states contain really multitudes. And not every area is exactly the same. For instance, if they forever, whatever reason, held the All-Star game in Fresno, I wouldn't expect a major, beach theme.
Correct.
During the game entirely. Yeah, it's in California.
It's in California,
Guess
yes.
what? It's nowhere near the beach. Well, Dallas is in Texas, but it's not in the horse lasso cowboy area.
It's really not, man. And Arlington is split between Dallas and Fort Worth. Fort Worth is more cowboy, and they have the stockyards, and there's some real cowboys out there. There's also some fake cowboys out there. And last night was just like, hey, let's corn pone this thing for everyone and really Texas it up. And they did, and you knew it was coming, and so fine.
Game starts. First, all the attention is on Paul Skeens to begin with.
Right.
And that first inning.
But Corbin Burns took the bump first.
He did.
So this was wild. I tweeted about it last night. The way that it worked for me is Bo had his practice at Frozen Ropes, so we had to drive up to 4S Ranch. My other son was having a meltdown at home, so we were like, we're going to split early and grab some food along the way. It was brilliant dad move. We get to Chick-fil-A, we get some food, we sit down, and I put the All-Star game on my phone. And Bo he's so on fire for the game, but he doesn't quite understand what the All-Star game is. And so he's asking me questions, Benny. You would have loved this, man. He said, okay, so what team are we on? The red team or the blue team? I said, we're on the blue team. And he goes, is that Ohtani? And they did the starting lineups. And he goes, oh, my God, Bryce Harper. Oh, my God, there's Profar. And to watch it click, and he goes, now, but they don't like each other because they're on different teams. I go, there may be a little bit of that. There may be a couple of guys, Will Smith and Jerks and Profar, some guys have had beef. And he goes, so just tonight they're on the same team. And I go, yeah. He goes, well, who do they play? And I said, the American League. He's trying to learn the teams in the AL and the NL. And it makes it hard because we're playing the Guardians on Friday night. And he's like, but wait, they're AL. And I'm like, yes, son, interleague play is now. And he's looking at me. But once he got it, and he was so thrilled to learn these are the best of the best competing for one night, still going max effort. That part to him, he's like, they still are going to play super hard for just this one game. And I go, yeah. He goes, oh, and it clicked. And so when the lineups were announced for both sides, he's like, oh, my God, Ellie De La Cruz. Oh, Aaron Judge. Oh, there's Juan Soto. My heart exploded in my chest. I said it was a top 5 dad moment for me. He wanted to hold the phone in the car on the way to the practice. He was checking the TV during practice and wanted to hold the phone on the drive home. He was all the way in. Made me so proud. It was so fun.
That's why the baseball All-Star game is still
The best.
Even though it's not perfect. It is so far and away better than any other All-Star
Not
game,
close.
and it remains true to this day. I thought the Skeens inning mostly lived up to the hype. It worked out well for Major League Baseball in that did walk Juan Soto so Aaron Judge could get up. That was a quick, short one-pitch at bat. Didn't quite have the drama. There were no strikeouts. The only one who actually struck out was Juan Soto, but the pitch wasn't really caught. But
He dropped the ball. It was a strike.
It actually was a strike.
Yeah.
Didn't get the call, but that would have been the only strikeout of the inning. But thought that went fairly well for Major League Baseball with Paul Skeens pitching in the first inning for the National League. And then you had the offense begin in the third inning, and it all started, of course, with the Padres' own Jurickson Profar, who in his very first All-Star at-bat absolutely laced one. I mean, what was it, 108 miles an hour?
Yeah.
Down the right field line. Couldn't see it land in the corner. Wasn't sure if it was fair or foul. He was smart to limit himself to a single. Juan Soto was just in the right place. I mean, it rocketed right out to him. He would have been out by a mile if he had tried to go to second.
It was weird seeing Juan Soto actually play one
Perfectly.
and you know, their former teammates as
Jurickson
well.
looked a little surprised
He
as
did.
well as he hit the brakes and turned around.
I'm glad you noticed. I'm glad you noticed that because I feel like I just saw a look of shock on Jurickson Profar's face.
The Juan's out there. I'll get second easily. Go, whoop! Oh no, yep, brakes. Let's go back to first on this one. But when you have players behind you, you know, like Shohei Ohtani and the National League lineup, you don't want to make an out on the base pass.
That bomb.
Oh my God!
So yeah,
And so
It sounded like a gunshot.
so sweet little Bo goes. He hits that bomb, and Bo goes, and looks at me, and I gave him the
we
shrug.
can enjoy this
I was
one.
like, you can enjoy this one, and he's like, all right.
What it did for me though is it not that I loved the home run derby to begin with, but it completely ruined the home run derby. There was nothing like that.
Nothing.
I mean, how many home runs were hit the night before? And how many rounds? 14 rounds of home run derby action. I don't remember hearing one off the bat like the
my
one
God.
Shohei Ohtani in the first inning.
He pissed on that ball. It was unbelievable. Yeah, and it's like I loathe that team, and I'm like, I gotta tip my hat to that one. That was incredible.
Just listen.
Listen.
Incredible.
It's a spot.
Come on.
Incredible.
It's a spot.
Do you see? And Judge and Soto
The
were
echo.
mic'd up, and
Yeah.
they just kind of looked
They
at
go,
each other.
Soto doesn't even move.
Yeah, it's just incredible
Was it
shot.
Hauk on the mound for that? That's got to be a
Yeah.
sick feeling to hear that.
It'd actually be pretty cool, I think,
Oh,
to
really?
give up a nuke. I do. Like, if you're going to give up a nuke, don't make it to some scrub, like the last man
Wall
on the
scraper
bench, wall
to a
scraper.
scrub, yeah.
Yeah, it did. Megan just said it sounded like a gunshot. It did. That ball was laced.
So the 3-0 lead, of course, did not last long as the American League responded in the bottom of the inning against Logan Webb of the San Francisco Giants, including a 2-run single for Juan Soto. It was just a constant parade of Padres and ex-Padres last night in the field, on the mound. So they scored 3 in the bottom of the inning to tie the score at 3, and then the game was pretty much decided in the bottom of the 5th when Jarren Duran of the Boston Red Sox hit the 2-run home run that provided the final runs of the game on their way to a 5-3 win for the American League. That earned him the All-Star Game MVP honors. And you were talking earlier just kind of about his story. And, we saw the Padres play the Red Sox a few weeks ago in Boston and saw a little bit of Jarren Duran. We talked about him in the spring training when his name came up in some trade talks linked to the San Diego Padres when they were looking for maybe a center fielder at the time.
Yeah.
Never worked out. Maybe the price was too high. I'm sure the Red Sox pretty happy that they held on to him for this season.
It's a different world, man. And I have a lot of respect for Jarren Duran. And I watched an interview with him a couple days ago, an all-star interview. And, they go and they make the rounds to the different tables. And they asked him, he does, he's a big list guy. He makes a lot of lists after games of like this is what I saw on this pitch. This is what I could have done better in this situation. So the guy was asking him about his notebook, his list that he makes. He goes, lately what's been working for me, he said his brain goes so fast. And it's hard after a game to shut it down. And he said, like I laughed in the moment, but I started thinking about it. He said, and he was like sheepish a little bit. He goes, so what I do now, after a game, yeah, I want to make lists, but I found when my brain's firing like it is, my lists are just a bunch of, it's just garbled. Like there's just nothing. I can't even read it. He goes, so now after a game, I'll actually color. And they're like, color? And he's like, yeah, I've got like adult coloring books, and I'll go in and color, and it keeps me in the lines, and it locks me back in, and then I'll start to make my list. Therapeutic. And I went, again, as a 49-year-old man in a couple days, I went, color? And then I was like, well, I mean, if that works for you, I didn't like coloring when I was a little kid. I certainly don't think I would like it now. I do share the same type of brain as Jarren Duran. He was so much maligned by the Red Sox fans, Ben. We all saw the play. Guy hits a ball, never saw it in center field. It lands behind him.
This was last season?
Last season, and he didn't run after it. And he just got killed. I mean, the Boston media, everybody was making fun of him. It was like, who's this kid? So he started working hard on his mental health, and he actually writes on his tape on his hands, F word, like blank 'em, right? And so that gets him in the space of like, I don't care what anybody else says. I know I'm good enough to play this game. I really admire him and has talked openly about the things that he struggles with and has found ways to regulate his very, very active mind. And so cool moment for him, really cool moment for him. And this is pretty awesome.
Jackson Merrill came in the middle of the game, took over center field, got his first at-bat, and made it a pretty good one. Did a very Jackson Merrill-like thing, lacing a ball to left field or the other way at about, 104, 105 miles an hour off the bat. Unfortunately, right at the left fielder. Who was it that made a pretty nice play there?
Was it Riley Green?
It might have been, yeah. And then in
that's one, though. So Bo was holding the phone in the back. That's one when he hit it, it was like crack. I mean, he barreled that ball, and Bo goes, oh, he caught it.
I do love in the All-Star game when guys do something very representative of who they are. Show the country who you are, because there's probably most of baseball fans don't really know much about Jackson Merrill yet. If they maybe, heard that kid in San Diego playing center field, but what's his game like? I have no idea. You look at his stat line. That was a very Jackson Merrill-like thing that he did in lacing that ball to left field.
Isn't it just cool to see, it's cool to see your guy. It's cool to see your guy do anything cool at the All-Star game. It's awful to see your guy soil himself at the All-Star game. We've all seen that as well. Players that we love just completely, Giants fans are like, oh boy, with Logan Webb. But to see Jackson, and he's still he looks like a kid next to these guys. He's still tall and skinny. And to go up there against the most elite pitching in the world and just no problem, bam, it's awesome.
And his ninth inning bat against Manuel Clase was also very Jackson Merrill, using his wheels. I mean, a little dribbler
37 miles an hour or something.
Down the first base line. But, they criticized Clase for not letting it go foul. But I think when you have a player like Jackson Merrill, who's not that familiar, Guardians haven't faced the Padres yet. That's coming up later this week. Clase thinks, I've got time. I pick it up, throw him out. Did not realize how very fast Jackson Merrill is and gave him a base hit by picking that ball up. But Jackson said after the game, I think he kind of deserved that one after lining out in the first at-bat. This is the baseball karma universe evening itself out. 1 for 2 is probably what I deserved in that All-Star game, and that's what he'll go down with his first ever All-Star appearance. But the best Padres performance was the one that even Padres fans may have missed in the 7th inning when Robert Suarez came into the game to really nary a mention from the broadcast crew.
Listen to the way that Joe Davis and John Smoltz talk about Robert Suarez here. It's glowing. It's like some of the most glowing speak that you can.
This is his moment.
This is
he
his
may never
moment.
go to an All-Star game again.
33 years old.
Yeah.
His first time there.
Maybe last. Who
Maybe
knows?
the last time. Listen to how beautiful this is. This
See the
tribute.
ball, just swing at it. Oh, look at what I got right here. Look at what I got right here. Man, you got me jumping over there. Socks! It's not apple socks. That's what I told the guy.
By the way, we're showing the video from the game right now. If you're just listening, it's just a full screen of Duran and
Big
David
Papa.
Ortiz.
Yep.
Like they're not even. It's not even split screen at this moment. Showing the
Feeling.
game.
Feel good.
Having fun?
I'm having a lot of fun.
Hey, you know what? I was talking to the Yankee guys over there on the other side, and when you went to the moon, I
Strikeout.
started
Just
screaming, "It's not
100
apple
miles
socks,
an
it's my-"
hour.
That was a strikeout.
Yeah.
That was 100
Right
mile an
past
hour
Again,
West,
1-2
right past
fastball.
Westburg.
I'm driving. I'm driving. So if my 6-year-old hadn't told me he was in the game, I wouldn't have
talking to
known.
the Yankee guys over there on the other side,
Strike
and
three.
when you
No,
went to the
100
moon,
miles an hour again.
I started screaming, "It's not apple socks, it's my boy."
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, good seeing you. Keep having fun, man.
It's
I
absolute
mean, and then it
gibberish.
continued through the second at bat,
Oh, yeah.
which was another strikeout.
Another strikeout.
Loaded with 100, 101 mile an hour fastballs. And isn't that what the All-Star game is about? Like, here's a guy who's coming in.
No, it's
throwing
about this.
absolute gas.
Hey, what's up, bud? How are you, Benny? Hey, good to see you. You having fun today? You having fun?
No, they made it the
Are you
David
having
Ortiz
fun?
show.
Is that
Yeah,
fun?
they-
Yeah. Hey,
yeah.
hit a home run for me. Hey,
They made
hey,
it-
Go get him. Hey, what's up, my boy Paul? Hey, what's up,
man?
buddy? Hey, how you doing?
Good, how you doing?
Yeah. What's up?
Ben, what I was trying to say
Yes,
was
exactly.
they're making
Hey,
it
you
the
having
David
fun?
Ortiz
Are you having
show.
fun this morning?
It
Yeah,
really
yeah,
was.
yeah.
It really was a disservice, especially to Padres fans and anyone who wanted to see what
'Cause
Robert
then they
Suarez
pulled
was
him out
doing on the mound.
to get every, and I think Lavulo did a good job. Did he get every single guy in? I know
He
was
might
trying
have.
to.
Yeah, I was trying to get 2 outs. I had no problem with it. You know
Yeah.
what? You strike out both batters. Like
You're
nothing.
good.
Nothing better can happen. Yeah, you could strike out the side, but I was more than fine with
Well-
Robert Suarez saving some bullets for the second half.
So how cool was it though? They throw Matt Strom in after Robert Suarez, and he comes in and gets his K. It was sick, and we'll talk.
that inning was nothing but Padres and former Padres because Lugo threw the top of the inning.
Yeah.
Then it was Suarez, and then it was Strom, all in the 7th inning.
I don't know how to feel. I really don't know how to feel. How do you feel if you're AJ Preller? You have to. There's a part of you that says, I'm truly a phenomenal talent evaluator. Wow, some of these guys I probably should have kept, because what was the final number?
So I saw that of the total All-Stars, there were 60 of them who were both there and injured.
Right.
13 of them either played for or at some point with the Padres.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, we can
more
talk about. Let's
that.
talk about that when we come back. How do you feel if you're AJ Preller about seeing all those faces back in your face at the All-Star game? We'll play Take on Woods as well. Hour number 2 coming up next here with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan. Just trying to again go through the final count of current or former Padres or Padres prospects who participated or were at least named to the All-Star rosters for last night's game. Got Juan Soto, obviously, in the American League starting lineup. In the National League, Trey Turner, Jurickson Profar, and then Josh Naylor. You've got
Hardly know her.
Emmanuel Clase, former Padres prospect. Seth Lugo on the Padres last year. Kirby Yates, Andres Munoz. On the National League, C.J. Abrams, Luis Arraez, current Padre. Jackson Merrill. And then you've got Max Fried was a former Padres prospect.
Yep.
And you've got Matt Strahm. You got Robert Suarez, Fernando Tatis Jr. I mean,
Luis Arraez?
Turner.
yeah.
He said
Yeah, I
Turner.
did Turner. I got Arraez. I think that's 13 total that were affiliated with the Padres now or at
Strahm.
some point.
Yeah.
Strahm, it got Strahm. So that's, as you said, it's both a testament to A.J. Preller being able to identify all-star caliber players. Like, I see the talent in there to be a top player in baseball when maybe other organizations did not see that in a Matt Strahm at some point. But A.J. did, whether he drafted them or signed them to free agent deals,
Bochy.
traded for them.
But that wasn't AJ.
That wasn't A.J.,
Right.
but
He was,
was with the Padres, it's obviously. So is that a good thing or is that a bad thing that so many of them are now doing their thing for other organizations?
You ever see the Derek Jeter starting 9 gif, the meme or whatever,
Yeah, of all his
of all
girlfriends.
his girlfriends? Like, I always thought that was pretty cool. If you're Derek Jeter, you're like, yeah, that's my starting 9 right there. I don't know that he laments it very much. I think he's pretty happy with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't.
Because they're not currently starting right now.
Correct. He found his final starter. But I think, he looks at that and goes, man, what a run. What a run. And I think that's probably how A.J. Preller looks at it. Wow. These are all guys I touched. I think some of them you lament, you lament Emmanuel Clase, right? Like, that's one that you look at and go, good God. Good
Well,
God.
you
Munoz.
lament the ones that you didn't get anything really for.
Munoz kills you. The other thing too, and I wonder, and there's really no way to know. I mean, nobody has a crystal ball. Nobody has a fortune teller.
Josh Naylor is an interesting.
That's an interesting one because again, and I feel like with C.J. Abrams as well. You look at it and you go, I don't get super mad at him because I feel like I saw enough of both to go, all right. Was anyone in here super mad when any of those guys left? Trey Turner was the one that you're like, this guy's going to be a star.
But we got Will Myers.
You got Will Myers, right? So I don't know that you cry over.
But then there's like Kirby Yates. He was an all-star with the Padres.
He was.
And it was time when he got more expensive, went somewhere else,
Yep.
and then struggled for a couple of years. Now he's back being an all-star. I have no ill will at all toward Kirby Yates. Love Kirby Yates.
Here's our chat. Dub says Naylor's overrated, and Joey says Naylor's a stud.
Back-to-back comments.
We all saw Josh Naylor play here. We all did. And when he left, I was like, oh, maybe he'll become something. I really didn't ever think he was going to be an all-star. I didn't. And some of them, Munoz probably guts your soul. Like, Munoz thrown in that NOLA deal or whatever, guts you to your core. But every GM has those, man. Andrew Friedman has those.
One of the ones that I hate the most is not probably even Preller's fault, and I've lamented it this year alone, is Seth Lugo.
Lugo is it's a brutal loss.
Just so wanted him to stick around for another season.
Yeah.
Exactly what the Padres need. I loved his intensity. I loved his attitude. And he's just killing it as a starting pitcher this year, which is where the Padres lack depth.
You
could have had him for like $3 million more or something.
But we sleep well at night knowing it's one of the 3 things we've ever said about this team in the last 2 years that's actually come true. Right? We all agreed that Seth Lugo should be back, bar none. Hey, let's go around the room, and if you could pick one, who should it be? We all said Seth Lugo. And, obviously Juan Soto. But Seth Lugo, you say, yeah, man.
It's between Lugo and Waka.
Yeah, you gotta bring back Lugo. You got to bring back Lugo.
It was a debate. I remember having that debate,
100%.
thinking in my mind and settling, no, I know Lugo's a little older and maybe not as experienced as a starter, but I think he's the guy that I would want to push my chips into the center with.
And so Brandon says, as much as y'all love Strom, I'm glad he's an all-star. Don't get me wrong. Did you really think he would be one? That is the other kind of part of the question of, okay, is that a deeper issue that would Emmanuel Clase, if he stayed with the Padres, be Emmanuel Clase now? There's no way to know. Would Matt Strom? Well, we saw him here. He was good. He was effective at times. He kept getting hurt. Now he's healthy. Now he's pitching.
And Matt Strom would have told you, I don't think I'll ever be an all-star because he's a relief pitcher.
Right.
He's a middle relief, long relief pitcher.
Yeah.
The all-star game is typically starting pitchers and closers.
Yeah, he's an unusual all-star, to be sure. And by the way, the Padres aren't the only team that let him get away. The Red Sox had him, too.
Yeah.
Didn't re-sign him, and he ended up going to the Phillies.
Too much
I think it's a great story. Like,
it's the best story.
And I'm biased because he is a friend of ours, but you don't usually see like sixth inning guys get all-star nods.
Would Naylor have been an all-star here? Would C.J. Abrams have been an all-star here?
See, I have confidence that guys like Munoz and Clase would have developed because Padres seem to do well in developing bullpen guys, even out of nowhere. Jeremiah Estrada.
Sure.
They've had closers that are just constantly all-stars year after year
that
after
was
year.
Their only all-star selection.
Still is. I mean, it really has never stopped from, Suarez. Before that, Hader, Yates, Taylor Rogers. He didn't make the All-Star team?
Street was
Heath Bell, Houston Street, all the way back to Trevor Hoffman. They always have an all-star closer with the Padres. So I feel like those guys would have been fine. It's the position players like Naylor. Would they have ever... Is it hitting in San Diego? Is it the development? Is the coach? I don't know what it is, but they don't ever seem to thrive as well. I'll go all the way back to Anthony Rizzo, who was, can't miss prospect, horrible in his brief stint in the majors with the Padres. Traded him, turned into an all-star, and he had a really solid career. That's near the end now, but really good career.
Jay here,
Melanson, keep going. You could forget how many all-star closers the Padres had.
Jay here kind of nails it. He says trading Trey Turner months after drafting him changed the course of this franchise. I think there's a good argument to make for that. I really, really, really do. He is an elite baseball talent.
But even Trey Turner took years of patience to develop before he truly became Trey Turner in the big leagues. Would he have been Trey Turner
Correct. Here
with the San Diego Padres?
That's exactly right. So that's what makes me so happy to see a prospect like Jackson Merrill hit for AJ. And I know AJ's very happy about that.
Homegrown, even more than look, I know he technically wasn't. Fernando Tatis Jr.
Yeah, right. No, this was
like you drafted him. He's only been in your organization. No trade, nothing.
Yep, 100%.
It's about damn
the fact
time.
the Padres have two of those in Tatis and Merrill, and I know they didn't draft Tatis, but developed them all the way through, right to being early all-stars in their career that's good development right there.
Absolutely. And I think...
I don't think any team would have messed up with Fernando Tatis.
Yeah. I think he would have been fine in Chicago, too, but...
They've done something right with Jackson Merrill, though.
They have.
Let me give Jackson a lot of the credit, most of the credit,
100%.
but they certainly haven't messed him up.
It's a hard job because, again, like Ben just said, he made the point, give the player all the credit, but no, I mean, it of course, the development, the Padres' development helped develop him into a player, a hitter, a pro. But again, if you're going to give AJ the grief that he gets, and he deserves a lot of the grief he gets, I think this is a good moment for him to have that many guys that he touched be a part of this team.
Chance to call in right now if you want to play Take on Woods and qualify for our getaway to Las Vegas. 833-288-0973. Dial up right now. We got about a minute before our game. 833-288-0973. One comment in the chat here, though. Very wise. By Julio. Says you only have 26 spots on your roster. You can't pay them all.
Yeah.
So I'm fine. And, yeah, there are decisions that you would go back and change. But there's no way, there's no alternate universe in which you could have kept all 13 of those guys and somehow had a roster filled with all of them. It just doesn't work that way. Either you had to trade some of them to get other ones, or you would have had to let other ones go because you can't fill, there's not enough room on the roster to just have all-stars really at every position.
No, I mean, you can try.
You can try.
Some
You
teams try,
always are trying. That's the goal. But there is limitations that every team has to deal with, to try to put together their rosters.
Yeah, and it's just a confidence boost, I think, for everybody in the organization when a guy like Jackson Merrill comes up and does what he's done. I mean, he has really been incredible. And when we looked into his eyes in spring training and we sat and watched him, I went, I mean, he's got it. Like that dude, he doesn't look like he's going to fail.
Bro, it's like the bar was so low, because we watched Grisham out there for the last 3 years.
What did we say? If he hits 225,
if you hit 210 and 12 bombs,
you're good.
Don't completely soil yourself defensively. We'll be fine. You'll figure it out. You're learning a new position at the big league level. Nobody thought he'd be an all-star.
Yeah, nobody.
He's going to be rookie of the year. He should be. He
won't be, but he should be. Yeah, I get it. But he's been brilliant, and it was so cool to just watch him fit in last night and still be a kid, but be so far beyond his years. I mean, again, hey, who's your favorite player he met? He's like, I don't know. I mean, it's just cool talking to these guys. I played against them. It's just cool to shoot the breeze with them. It's like, it's just, I can't wrap my head around how good it's been.
Take on Woods brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. It only takes 15 minutes. You don't have to get out of your car. For directions and discounts, go to SoCalOilChange.com. That's SoCalOilChange.com. Hit it, Paulie. All right, let's see. We got a full board again. Let's go, Mike. You there?
I'm here.
Mike, congratulations. You're a contestant today for Take on Woods. If you can beat or tie Woods, put you into the drawing for our grand prize two-night getaway to the Rio Las Vegas, dinner for two, and day bed at the Rio Pool. The Rio Vegas is back. New ownership, newly remodeled rooms, 4 sparkling new pools, and a brand new food hall. Book now at RioLasVegas.com. All right, the theme continues for the week. If you've been listening, it's all about the girls this week. We still have Girl Power, which is songs that end in the word girl. This is the 2000 and 2010s edition. We have Even More Girls. Those are more song titles that include the word girl. And we also have Girls Night Out, which are 5 song titles that include the word girls, plural. So that's kind of a limited selection.
All the time.
Yeah, there it is. Girl Power, 2000s and 2010s. Even More Girls or Girls Night Out, Mike?
I wish you still had the 60s girls, but I'll take the middle one.
All right, Even More Girls. All right, so
That's
we're not done yet. I got 5 more song titles that include the word girl. You'll have 60 seconds to get as many as you can. If you don't know an answer, say pass. We'll come back to it if there's time left on the clock. First question, the 2-second song. Paulie is queuing it up right now. If you can give me the title and the artist of that one, you'll score that point. Mike, are you ready to play?
Ready.
Paulie, are you queued up?
I'm
He is
ready.
good to go. All right, 60 seconds on the clock. Category is Even More Girls. Your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck, Mike. Let's take on Woods.
Waiting for a Girl Like You
By?
by Foreigner.
Correct. Which Neil Diamond song found new life when it was performed by Urge Overkill for the Pulp Fiction soundtrack?
Diamond Girl.
Incorrect. Which Brazilian bossa nova song that refers to a Rio de Janeiro beach was a worldwide hit in the 1960s?
Pass.
Little Big Town won 2 Grammys and found their highest charting single with which 2015 smash country hit?
Pass.
Which 2012 mega hit for Alicia Keys has a remix version with Nicki Minaj called Inferno? Might be a tough one for you there.
Oh, boy.
Okay, I think you could get what Brazilian bossa nova song that refers to a Rio de Janeiro beach was a worldwide hit in the 1960s, Mike?
Bossa Nova.
It's The Girl from Ipanema. The other one's Girl, You'll Be a Woman Soon. Neil Diamond, Urge Overkill. That's a great one. I love that cover. Girl Crush is Little Big Town and Girl on Fire. All right, one. Probably not enough today, Mike. We'll see how Woods does, though. All right, Mike's score is locked in. Put our 60 seconds back on the clock. Re-cue our 2-second song. Woodsy has his headphones on, so let's get to it. Woods, your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck. Let's take on Mike.
Waiting for a Girl Like You, Foreigner.
Correct. Which Neil Diamond song found new life when it was performed by Urge Overkill for the Pulp Fiction?
Girl, You'll Be a Woman Soon.
Correct. What Brazilian bossa nova song that refers to a Rio de Janeiro beach was a worldwide hit in the 1960s?
Pass.
Little Big Town won 2 Grammys, found their highest charting single with which 2015 smash country hit?
Pass.
Which 2012 mega hit for Alicia Keys has a remix vision with Nicki?
This Girl's on Fire.
Correct. Which Brazilian bossa nova song that refers to a Rio de Janeiro beach was a worldwide?
Girl from Ipanema.
Correct. Little Big Town won 2 Grammys and found their highest charting single with which 2015 smash country hit?
That Girl's Taint.
No, but you got 4 out of the 5, which is a win today for Woods. 4-1. Girl
You
Crush.
just missed that last one.
Just missed that.
Just Girl Crush is the one you missed. Good pull on the girl from all the Ipanema. time.
All girls, all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good pull. How did that? When did that just kind of pop in your head?
I don't know. I just needed.
Needed a second.
Needed a second. Yeah.
And it came to you.
Yep.
Good pass. Good use of the clock.
Thank
Good
you.
clock management.
It's almost like I know what
Should
I'm
be
doing.
an
in
NFL
here.
head coach with that kind of clock
How
management.
about that?
All right. We've got Don't Do This is coming up
I
next.
mean, I would just like to play the Big Poppy audio again for the love of God.
I have something Rory McIlroy did that
Okay.
I feel like you'll have an opinion on, and I'm not sure what it's going to be.
Okay.
But I think it's a Don't Do This moment. So we'll talk about that coming up next after a check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan. Don't Do This is brought to you by the Craft Taco in Sorrento Valley. Craft Taco has some of the best quality tacos in all of San Diego. Go to thecrafttaco.com. Take a look at their happy hour specials today. Crafttaco.com. What's?
Oh, you want me to start?
I want you to start.
All right, I will start. I saw this morning. You know, young people, I like to think, I'm 49 on Friday. I like to think in the days before, cell phone video, you could take video on your cell phone. Like in college, I didn't have one. I probably would have filmed some of my transgressions. As I think about it today, I like to think that
you
I
could have brought a camcorder around.
Yes, a giant European vacation camcorder. It'd be like, hey, tear that thing open. Let's get after it, right? But I like to think now from my, years of wisdom that I wouldn't have filmed all my transgressions and then
it doesn't
posted
actually
them.
take that much wisdom to not film things that you probably don't want other people to see.
But I was also a young, dumb kid, like soccer star Enzo Fernandez. He has had to put out an apology for singing racist and homophobic chants with his Argentinian teammates following their Copa America win against Colombia. Now, this chant was popularized in French. It's about the French. And they were all doing this chant on the bus, and he posted it. It was like live on Instagram. They were all on the bus chanting this awful chant. And he had to come out with a apology. I want to apologize sincerely for a video posted on Instagram. The song includes highly offensive language, and there's absolutely no excuse for these words. I stand against discrimination in all forms. Apologize for getting caught up in the euphoria of our Copa America celebrations. That video, that moment, those words do not reflect my beliefs or my character. I'm truly sorry. The problem is, it's a chant directed at the French. He also plays for Chelsea, and there are several French players, his own teammates, that are livid. They're livid with him. He was playing for Argentina in the Copa, and now he's got to go back to Chelsea amongst his French teammates that are so pissed at him for doing this. So he is in a little bit of hot water.
Let me give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he truly is champions the sides of inclusivity and is against racism and homophobia.
Right.
And so he just got caught up in the moment with all of his teammates chanting at the same time. Shows you the dangers of that group mentality.
Correct.
And just going along with everybody else. It's hard to say to everybody, you're on the bus, you just won, they start a chant, it's not appropriate. It's hard to say, guys, no one wants to be the guy who's like, no, we shouldn't be doing this, everybody. I feel like I'm sometimes that kind of person.
You definitely are. But I also, just like you, if you didn't film it, would we have ever known? Not that makes it right.
And then posted it as well. It's a two-step process.
Right.
It's like,
they're on live,
two-factor verification. Yeah, okay, they're on live, but...
Exactly. So, yeah, he's got to go back hat in hand to his teammates, his French teammates, and say, ooh, sorry about that, fellas.
All right, I've got something from the Open Championship for Don't Do This. There is an element of do this as well. Rory McIlroy was giving his pre-tournament news conference yesterday, and, of course, many questions about the U.S. Open collapse and the missed short putts. And Rory admitted that some people reached out to him via text to contact him after that happened with words of encouragement, like Michael Jordan and Rafael Nadal, which is really cool. But then he said, full disclosure, I changed my number 2 days after the U.S. Open because he didn't want to hear anymore. So he actually missed a text from Tiger Woods, who also texted him 3 days later and didn't know about it. Tiger had to say, hey, did you get my text?
Hey, bro,
and Rory goes,
are you mad at me?
I know. He never returned Tiger's text. And Tiger's going, why didn't you return my text? And he had to tell him, oh, I changed my number. I didn't tell you. And to me, they don't do this. So people like Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Rafael Nadal, they all have your number.
Yeah.
And you just decided, I'm just going to change it because I don't want to hear from people. I mean, that's what silencing notifications is for. Or just don't look at the messages. But you got to change your number when all those people... Tiger Woods can give you a call anytime he wants, and you change your number to a number he doesn't have. Now you got to convince Tiger to put your number back into his phone again. Michael Jordan, Rafael Nadal.
Hey guys,
how hard is that?
It's Rory, new number. You guys saw what happened. I changed my number. You know what a pain in the ass it is to change your number?
I can't even imagine doing it nowadays.
I mean,
I have a number. It's never changing the rest of my life.
I think this will be mine for the rest of my days as well. And I have too many people have my number. Trust me. Too many people. But listen, you roll with the punches. You roll with them. You just roll with the punches.
I just silence notifications, put it away for a while, Have your wife look at it
Yeah,
if she
whatever.
needs to, check it. You can't check it. That's fine. I understand that. You don't just throw it out and change the number and lose all. I mean, even if you transfer your contacts, they don't get transferred in other people's phone. They now
Correct.
no longer have Rory McIlroy's number.
Yeah.
You got to start texting everybody with the old, hey, I got a new phone. Here's my new number to everybody. That's
Everybody.
annoying.
It's a nightmare.
No one wants to have to do that.
That's a big pain in the
I've
ass.
thought about that. How often do the mega celebrities change their number? Have to change their numbers.
Probably so much.
Like Taylor Swift has to change her phone number like every 6 months, probably.
I mean,
right?
if it ever gets out on social media, obviously,
screwed.
Yeah,
you're
you're
done.
done.
Brad
done.
Pitt, guys like that, like the Leonardo DiCaprio, like the top elite A-listers. Does anybody even have their phone numbers?
Woody Harrelson does not carry a phone, and neither does Bill Murray. They don't have phones. Now that is the
They have
level.
people who can say anything that needs to be said to them.
Bill Murray has a voicemail that he'll call and check every now and then, but you cannot. I think he did say he amended it
He
recently.
doesn't have an assistant, though.
No.
You call Bill Murray's
He's-
assistant.
no, he's
you
got-
really need to get him. She can get a hold of him.
He's got a number you can call to pitch him a movie or whatever. But I think he did amend it recently to say, I've got kids. I have like a very lo-fi phone that I keep 4 numbers in for my kids and my agent or whatever. But yeah, man, there's people that don't want to be found. And I think that is a really cool thing.
I get it.
I get it 100%. Paulie, you got one?
I got a.
So this is the opposite. I think,
mega
of this.
doo-doo.
Yeah, this not sportsy, but definitely ties into what
Yeah.
Ben was just talking about because this story involves somebody absolutely taking the call no matter what they were doing, and I'm talking about Lenny Kravitz. Lenny Kravitz he's in Europe right now on tour, and he was on stage in the middle of his performance when he got a FaceTime call. And he did not send this person the voicemail or just deny it. He took the call on
So
stage.
he brought his phone
On
onto the
stage.
stage
He
with
had
him.
He had it in his pocket or whatever.
All right.
He must have felt it ringing. Wow.
And he checked. Was
just-
he expecting this call, or what was going on
I don't
here?
think
Might-
so.
might be a bit.
Now, again, he was in Italy. The person calling him, I'm guessing, was in like Los Angeles. So time difference, maybe just didn't
Didn't realize
think,
he's on stage.
He's probably on stage right now, but just listen to this audio.
I'm sorry. My big brother just called me up on the phone to say hi. Y'all know Denzel Washington?
And he's on FaceTime and he turns the camera and he's showing Denzel to the crowd and
There's Denzel. There he is. Yeah. Nodding.
That's just a flex.
yeah, oh yes.
Do you have to flex though if you're Lenny Kravitz? Guy's like 70 years old. Look at him. Look at him.
Pretty cool that Denzel's
He said, "I love you. I'm going to call
FaceTiming.
you later. I got to get back to my concert."
We should, when we come back, we should all FaceTime famous people on our phone and see if they answer.
Ooh.
That makes me ill.
FaceTime.
to think about that.
Let's just try it.
Let's don't and do this.
Summer break. Let's
For a
get weird. I
Wednesday.
know who I'm texting. I know who I'm FaceTiming.
That was Don't Do
Not if I
This.
call him first.
with
No, I'm
Ben
getting
and
it first. I
Woods
already got
on
this.
97.3 The
All
Fan.
right. We'll see what happens when we come back here. Very nervous about what could transpire with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
How sick to your stomach are you right now?
I feel ill. I really do.
You guys,
I feel ill.
He could barely talk during the that idea that just popped up. It's summer break. We get a little weird in here.
This is totally impromptu.
Totally.
This isn't one of
not
those.
planned at
hey,
all.
let's plan to bring this up at 7:35 to fill a segment.
Talking about phones.
I was ready to talk about, like Rob Manfred in the automatic strike zone.
We can do that.
But you wanted to do this.
Yeah, just call somebody, FaceTime somebody famous.
All right, because of Paul's do this, Lenny Kravitz getting a FaceTime from Denzel Washington in the middle of his concert.
Somebody says Ben should FaceTime Goose Gossage.
Oh,
I'll give you his number.
Give him his number.
No. It's got to be someone who's in your phone.
You're
now.
a nerd, too.
Yeah.
Someone famous in your phone. That's the rules, right?
Yeah.
I don't have to go first.
I'll
do
go
I?
first.
Are you going to go first?
Yeah, let me see if this works. Come on. Oh, God, please. Please, you son of a... Strike one.
It's ringing.
It's ringing.
This is not good.
I mean, the odds are that no one's going to pick up.
I know, it's
Who picks up
7:40 in the
random
morning.
FaceTimes?
It's not
Especially
random. I know this person.
Well, yeah, but you don't usually FaceTime him, do you? Or do you?
Maybe I do. Oh, look at this.
Oh, no. He answered.
That's Skip Schumacher, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Look at you. We are. We were said, let's call famous people on our phones and see if they answer.
This is what happens during the All-Star break.
We're live.
Skip.
We're live.
We're live on the
air.
we're live on the air.
This is unbelievable.
You look.
I answered.
Yeah, you answered. You look amazing, by the way. Very handsome.
Manager
How
of the
are
Miami
you?
Marlins.
I'm doing great. I'm picking up Starbucks for the family, the kids. We're at the beach. And,
Nice.
Trying to enjoy some downtime. Even though I love seeing your beautiful face, I think I got to go here pretty soon.
All right,
All right,
do
now
what
take
you
care.
have
That's
to
what
do.
You
We love
won.
you.
You already won this game. Thank
We'll
you,
talk
Skip.
to you soon, buddy.
All right.
Later. Love you, buddy. Look at that.
All right.
Makes my heart
All right.
flutter.
Well, if you get to call a manager,
Wow,
like
he actually picked
a
up
big
dude.
time, I guess I'll try the same thing. I can't believe I'm going to do this. Should I say who I'm calling, or should I just
Dave
try
Roberts,
it?
isn't it?
No, it's not Dave Roberts.
I'm gonna throw up.
Bruce
I am
Bochy.
so nervous. Let me turn some volume.
The hair on my arm. Look.
All right, here we go.
Oh God! Don't do it.
I'm very scared right now.
Who is it?
I don't know. I can't see. I'll give you credit, Ben, for actually doing this.
Me too.
They're not going to answer.
Skip took like 9 rings.
Doesn't FaceTime ring just for
It
much
does.
longer than a cell phone?
I want to hit end. I want to hit
I
end.
bet you
He's
do.
not answering.
I bet you do.
He's
My
not
heart-
answering.
Is it Kimberly Hunt?
It's not. I think she's still asleep.
Oh,
Unavailable.
okay.
All right,
That
I'm
means they
done.
declined
All
you.
right. Well, I tried. You know what? I get the credit for trying. I just called Miami Vikings or Minnesota Vikings head coach
Look how
Kevin
nervous he is.
O'Connell.
Miami
The
Vikings.
Miami Vikings.
Here in Miami. He didn't answer. I wonder if he calls back, I'll let you know. But he was just in town. He was at the Seagull last week in the Miami, Minnesota Vikings bar.
Look how flustered he is.
Where my wife works. He said he was in town visiting right before the start of training camp is just about to start for NFL teams around the country. I thought maybe we could catch him before he gets to work this year.
7:30 FaceTime is a rough one.
It is.
It's a
Well,
rough.
he might be
rough-
back in the Midwest now,
Trying to
so I
see
thought
what-
maybe it was 9:30.
What managers or head coaches doing?
Paulie has so many numbers in his phone.
Pauly's
It's absurd.
phone list is
All right, hey,
ridiculous. Brandon says Kevin would have answered just for Scravy because they were high school teammates
right.
back at La Costa Canyon. He mentions that before.
How
Yeah.
it's nerve-wracking, isn't it, Paulie?
It is.
Paulie has you have Charles Barkley in your call Charles Barkley. Why not? It's not like he comes on the show. What's he going to do?
I don't know that it's his number.
That could just be like a
What
a
if
rep,
it's some
a
rando? That's
representative
fantastic.
number
Are you
as
kidding?
well.
Hello? No, I'm Eddie. I do siding. Do it.
Bob
Do it.
Melvin.
No, God, no. Please. Do Charles Barkley.
I'm terrified.
I'm
He's
terrified
got the
for you.
resources to
like,
track me
that's a
down.
good point. Yeah, he
But
does.
what would happen? He would get fired? No, I'll go to bat for you.
How about
Mark-
you got to do a friend. I'm gonna do a friend.
Yeah.
You had Mark Cuban. Cubes.
Yeah, right. Can you imagine?
Hello?
All right, we'll try this one here. Let's see.
Brandon says Adam Jones. Well, it is 7:30 on a Wednesday. That would be very typical.
That's true. He's like, I thought you guys were giving me the week off. Who is it? Scott Farkas, somebody said. Scott.
All right.
Who is it, Paul?
Let's see if he answers.
Who is it? Scott Farkas.
That would be great.
That would be amazing. I'm tingly.
I don't think he's going to answer.
I'm tingly.
I tend to decline FaceTime calls. I always feel like they're mistakes.
You tend
when
to
get
decline
them.
regular
That's
calls.
true, too.
Yeah. Sure.
Unavailable.
Who was it, Paulie?
Mark Grant.
What? Oh, that would have been greatness. That would have been greatness. All right. Well, listen, 1 for 3 is not bad. Not bad
1 for
at all.
3 is fantastic.
It's
That's
really
all I'm
good.
saying. I think when both in hitting,
Me and Ben should have to
random
keep going back and
FaceTime.
forth until somebody answers.
I can just sit here and rot for
All
the
right,
rest
you're up, Ben.
I just keep going until somebody answers. It's genius.
Who I would go with.
Oh, God. All right, let's go. Let's roll. This is like roulette. This is like Russian roulette. Radio Russian roulette. New bit.
No.
Paulie, do Evander Holyfield.
God, no.
He'll
never stop texting me.
He texted Paulie every day for
I'll
like
tell you that story later if you missed
3
that.
years.
Holy crap.
Well, you gotta be someone here good. Come on.
Come on.
I'm looking.
Come on. I know you got famous people in there. Hacksaw.
All right, I'll try this guy. All right, let's see. It's been a while since I've talked to him.
It's Phil Mickelson, everybody.
No, I don't have Phil's number.
Should I FaceTime Pete Rose?
Yes. Unequivocally, yes. Who's Ben?
I can't read.
Why is Ben making that dumb face? Look
No,
at his
I'm
face.
just trying to be in the
He's
shot
shaking
here.
right
If they
now.
actually do answer, and they're not answering, of course, because why would you? This is so dumb.
They answer?
No, they're not answering. I got a text. No,
also
no
early.
answer.
Who was it?
That was former head writer for The Late Show with David Letterman, Eric Stengel.
Eric Stengel, okay.
Who's been on the show
I guess you
before.
could call him a famous adjacent.
I did get a text from my mom who said, Dad just made me turn off the show because this is making him so nauseous.
Yes! Yes!
This is where I get it from,
I am
of course.
pouring sweat, man. It's my favorite thing we've ever done. Come on, Paulie.
Come on. This is not going
It's not going well.
as well for me and Ben. Of course, Skip answered right away.
Who was that?
Come on.
Who is it?
It's our favorite, beloved Irish outfielder, Brian O'Grady.
Oh, BOG's
Oh.
in the house. Oh, that would have been great.
I thought for sure he would answer.
Is it my turn again?
Oh, I don't want to do this anymore.
I know, this is getting
Ed
really,
Orgeron.
really awkward. Oh, let's go. All right.
Hey, Jeter said it was an easy out. Yeah, easy. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not, you know.
There's got to be
They want you to call
someone
somebody
here.
else.
Me? Oh, God.
I'm going to find someone here. Oh, no. No, that won't work. I've got a lot of names in here.
I know. We know.
Sorry.
Mr. Big Shot over
I
there.
got AJ Preller.
You won't.
I won't.
All right, let's try this
You
one.
are
All
bad.
right, here we go. Here we go.
Oh, I got a great one.
I got one. Here we go.
I got a
All right,
great
we're-
one.
We're underway.
I got a great one.
I'll admit this one is
It's a
could be
stretch.
bit of a. Well, I mean, this may be a easy out if it works,
Ooh,
but
my wife said.
I'm not surprised that
Heather
he's
Lake.
not answering. I have no idea where he is.
All right, I got a good
now.
one. Hang up. Who was it?
That would be Tony Gwynn Jr.
Oh, you son of a! Watch this one. This one's elite if it works. Come on. Oh, yep. Andy Buckley, David
Oh,
Wallace
my
from
goodness,
the
you
Office.
took two. This is incredible.
That's the kind of juice that Steve Woods has.
Wow,
Oh,
ladies
my
and
God.
gentlemen, David Wallace from The Office, Andy Buckley.
We're playing randomly FaceTime people on the air to see if anybody picks up, and you're the second person to do it.
Yeah, you did it.
but I wasn't going to because I know I still owe you a couple $100.
Yep.
I'm not good for it.
Well,
But
I
thought I'd be courageous today.
you are a legend. I've been trying to get you on this show since my honeymoon, where my wife and I got to spend some time with you. We are still married.
Hey, let's not start stories.
Yeah, seriously. And he gave me.
Okay. I was called in on Steve's honeymoon because he was having trouble.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I had to talk him through a couple things.
He did. We're still married. We're still married right now. 2 kids now. But man, you are the GOAT for answering. I will let you get back to your day of doing. I don't know what you're doing, but
I'm playing with my dogs in the backyard, which is not code for anything. I'm just throwing a tennis ball around.
You're the GOAT.
All right,
man.
now, David, text him Steve Carell's number. He can try him next.
Oh, my God. No, please, no more. This makes me way too nervous.
I'll text it.
All right, text it to me. All right. You're the best, dude. Love you, man. Have a good one. Later.
Oh, my
Ladies
God.
and
You are the champion.
gentlemen.
We bow down.
Oh, my God.
Not all, bow down to Woods' greatness.
Oh,
I don't know how to.
When he said, when I saw it say connect, I almost soiled myself. I'm not kidding.
2 for 2
2 for
on
2.
one of the hardest games
Oh, my
ever.
God.
I'm trying to think. You got to find somebody that's at that, got a good level of
Oh,
star
yeah.
power,
Oh,
but
yeah.
you also think will answer.
Bro, you can't, you're not, he is the best. I'm texting him right now. You're the best.
That was amazing. That was, both of them were amazing. To get Skip and then to get David Wallace.
I'm going to try one
That
more.
was unbelievable.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I got to change my shirt. I'm not kidding, dude.
We're making all of San Diego tense this morning. This is supposed to be summer break.
I am soaking
Relaxing.
wet. He is.
Drinks by the pool.
He's the
All right,
nicest dude ever.
Paulie's going
One
again.
more here.
Oh, my God.
Might be a little busy, or maybe even tired from yesterday. We'll see.
Not strong.
Come on, Strami. It's gonna be like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Andy
would be
Buckley. What a legend.
This would be unlikely. He's probably traveling. Get back with his team this morning. Would be my guess. He's on an airplane at the moment, but worthy try
That's what
here,
I was
Paulie.
thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah, might traveling.
a worthy try.
All right. Well, I think we won the game, though.
You won the game.
I think we won the game.
You won the game.
No, we're a team. You know, if I experience success, we experience success. If you do that, I will kill you. I'll have to run out of the room, dude. Man, I can't believe he answered, dude.
That was amazing.
That was so good.
Tell this. Just recap the story for people who don't know or don't remember how you guys met and who exactly he is. If you're not a fan of The Office.
So Andy Buckley played David Wallace in The Office. Hannah and I go to London for our honeymoon years ago, and we had been playing. The funny part, we'd been playing a game around London. We'd be like, "Oh look, it's London Ben Higgins." We saw a guy who looked like London Ben. We're in our hotel. We had just gone for a swim, and we finished up our swim. It was an indoor pool, and I think it was one of us looked at the other, and we go, "Oh, look, it's London David Wallace." And I think it was me that said, "No, that's actually David Wallace. It's Andy Buckley." So I Googled his real name. I'm talking to him. And we are such huge Office fans. It's kind of how we bonded when we started dating. And I go, I'm talking to him. She goes, don't. I go, I'm doing it. I pick the moment till he goes to rinse off in the shower, and he turns around, and I'm right there, and I'm like,
awkward.
Are you Mr. Buckley? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, I'm so sorry to bother you. That's my wife, Hannah. We just got married. We're here on our honeymoon. Bro, the guy wrote us a note on Dunder Mifflin stationery, which we still have. He sent a bottle of wine to our room. We ended up running into him 3 or 4 more times. We exchanged numbers. And then last year, or a couple years ago when the U.S. Open was here, I tweeted that I needed tickets. He goes, DM me, and sent me 2 tickets to the U.S. Open that he couldn't use that Phil Mickelson had given him. It was incredible. Incredible. And he's just the nicest guy. We've texted a few times over the years. He's great.
Amazing. Paulie says we're a little overdue for traffic. Let's get a check before we get to the top of the hour here.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Kelly Danick.
Headaches along northbound 805 got an accident just past 43rd. It's over the right shoulder. Up ahead, this motorcycle accident at University has been moved into the center divide. Getting reports of some malfunctioning traffic signals on the southbound 15 Balboa off-ramp. Further south on the 15 before the 805, there is a collision in the center divide. Southbound 125 just past Lemon. Stalled vehicle over the right shoulder. I'm Kelly Danek with Ben and Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
I should get my wife to tweet out a picture of the letter. It was just the cool. We came back to our room after a day of touristing or whatever, and there was a bottle of wine, and it was on. That dude carried around Dunder Mifflin stationery and wrote us the kindest,
I mean, he's on
sweetest note.
vacation too.
He was
for
there
him
working.
To go,
he was
there
there
working,
filming
okay.
a movie.
Still,
Yeah,
for him to
show.
go that just next level. I mean, it's nice enough just to say
Say
hi,
hello,
and,
take a picture.
Yeah, take a picture. But then to go next level like that,
I'm going to be honest with you.
amazing.
I think he was a big Hannah fan. I think he was a big fan of Hannah, and so he could not have been nicer. Obviously, as you just saw, he answered a FaceTime. I mean, that was a top 5 moment for me. That was incredible.
Somebody said we should have done this at like 9 o'clock when more
people are awake.
were awake.
Somebody also said you should get a bunch of numbers on your phone, put them on a giant wheel, and spin the wheel. Which makes me sick to my stomach.
Yeah, Mom, Dad can turn the phone back on or turn the show back on. I think we're done with this segment for now. Baseball is a lot of things like this segment, but it isn't boring. Join Rob Bradford on his podcast, Baseball Isn't Boring. Every day, Rob takes you through the league and spotlights what makes the game fun, talking with players, managers, GMs, and reporters, all who shine a light on America's pastime. Follow Baseball Isn't Boring in the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Nothing like a completely random bit like that.
Unplanned, unexpected.
My boy just said, "Yo, that segment gave me heartburn."
Like literally, I'm sick right now.
Woo, that was that went way better than it could have. It could have gone really, really badly. All right, we'll come back. We'll reset everything. 2 hours down, 2 to go. Ben Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
halfway home on a Wednesday. And yeah, there's nothing really more satisfying than when something like that works. And if it doesn't, oh well, you flush it and try again. But that was a lot of fun.
You tier ones and like that entirely too much.
They really did. They loved to hear us uncomfortable, and we definitely were during, I guess,
I'm like sweating.
FaceTime roulette, essentially, is what it was. And yeah, that was incredible, and completely off the cuff, which makes it so much better. Thanks for being here with us. Certainly appreciate that. If you're watching on YouTube, yeah, you get to see all the facial expressions, and I mean, I'm just fanning my shirt because I'm just pouring sweat. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl, the executive producer of this program. Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor, joins us as well. And yeah, that was something else. I sent Paulie the letter that Hannah and I got from Andy Buckley, a.k.a. David Wallace from The Office, on our honeymoon. It was a moment, I mean, you never forget that he couldn't have been kinder, and then to pick up the phone was just incredible. So I sent it to Paulie. He can put it in the chat, and you can see it on.
Kind of hard to read.
Yeah, it's very hard to read, but it's on Dunder Mifflin stationery, and he's got a David Wallace business card that he put
Hannah
in there.
And Steve, great to meet you both, and congratulations. Get honeymooning because Bo needs a younger brother.
Yeah, we told him about Bo, and
Peyton
it
has
worked.
Eli.
Yeah, it did.
I checked.
Peyton has Eli. I checked.
And Cooper, the oldest. All right, carry on. That's what
He's the best, dude. The best. Such a kind guy. So, whew, man, that was awesome. That was awesome. How you feeling?
I'm kind of glad that no one answered my calls.
Why?
I don't know.
It was tough.
It went so well for you.
Yeah.
But there was a good chance that it could have gone very poorly.
It was tough to find somebody that had the level of cachet that we were looking for, and if they answer, they're not going to be like super angry with you.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
who the hell are you?
Very nice people was part of my equation
Yes.
in who I was dialing up. Like,
100%.
okay, this person, even if they're mad, they're not going to show it because they're very nice, like me.
He's one of my, and it just so happens, I mean, he was one of my favorite characters on television ever. I mean, David Wallace was the GOAT of The Office. He was so good, so understated. Whew, holy cow, man. That was a lot of fun. It was great. I wanted to talk about something. I think we're in safe harbor now. I'm looking around. I know, like, some of the people that work here listen early in the program, but they did the thing again yesterday. They had the big Odyssey summer barbecue, and they did it at, well, noon.
Which is when you eat barbecue.
I mean, I guess, but I felt excluded. We walked into the kitchen yesterday, and slabs of ribs, pots of beans.
They didn't just cater. No, like our colleagues, our coworkers here, like smoked meats on their own to bring in for this company barbecue.
And they do these things at noon.
Well, I feel guilty now that I didn't go.
You got here at 5:30.
I know.
You did a 4-hour show, and then you live 30 minutes away.
And I've got to come back for television.
Right.
I know why I didn't go, but I feel bad because people put effort into this.
I had a doctor's appointment, straight into baseball camp, straight into baseball practice. And it's just, if you're going to throw a barbecue and everyone's invited, is 10 too early for everyone to eat, I guess?
Probably for other people. Like for us, it's fine, but I can imagine that people don't want to start digging into potato salad and mac and cheese and ribs at 10 a.m.
We would absolutely slay a plate and we would do it at 6 a.m. We've eaten some weird stuff at, we did lobster on opening day. It was like 6:30 in the morning, and I had no problem with it at all. But yeah, they had the barbecue yesterday. We all missed it. I guess technically we could have come back for it, but I feel like they don't want morning shows there. If you're going to do it at noon, you can't expect us to hang around for a couple hours, right? Sit around for 2 hours while they make phone calls.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely it kind of just completely torches my day if I have to stay here until noon. Would I have liked to be here? Of course,
sure.
Yeah. That would have been the easy thing.
Can't really do the old leave and come back and Go home for what, 5 minutes?
Like I'd go run errands, I guess, and then come back. And then I would have been here at 11:15 wanting to get the show on the road. So I would have been sitting around for 45 minutes.
I mean, the email thread post-barbecue was
I've not
was
seen
nuts.
this.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for the delicious barbecue today. JR, Michael, John, the love and time you guys put into making that pulled pork, ribs, brisket, burnt ends really shone through. The meat was so tender, smoky, and flavorful. Don, Tammy, and Sam, I need your recipes for the potato salad, tortellini salad, and cornbread. Those sides were the perfect balance. That was such a delicious lunch. Can we make this an annual tradition?
Yeah, let's do it at 2 from now on, just to make sure that nobody from the morning shows.
I mean, I feel like I missed an entire episode of like barbecue pitmasters
100%.
or something here.
Now, I walked in this morning, and it's the first thing I did. I went to the fridge to see what was left over. And there's not much. There's some cupcakes in there, which I will certainly indulge here in a moment. But then there was a bowl of beans that was left out on the counter. So that's what we get. That's
overnight beans.
Overnight. These were already cooked and they had a spoon stuck in the coagulated bean fat. And so I did walk in this morning. I went, appreciating it. Like, would it have been too much trouble to say?
In England, beans are a breakfast food.
That's true.
Yeah.
But would it have been too much trouble to maybe wrap up a plate and say, Ben, Paul, Woodsy? Would that have been, I guess that would have been too much to ask for. It's fine.
Why couldn't they just deliver it to wherever we
were
yesterday?
That's true.
That would have been
That's
even
true.
better. DoorDash it to us.
I just feel I feel a little bit left out. I really do. Yeah. Hey, let me get that recipe.
Well, especially
for that.
after that email, I feel like I
Right.
missed the greatest meal in the history of meals.
Very cool.
Tender, smoky, flavorful brisket is really, that's all I'm going for in
We're
life.
not going to invite them. It would be like us doing, say, guys, we're putting something together for everybody. We're going to do it at 4 a.m. No, we're like 7 a.m. We're going to do it at 7. They usually get here at 9, but we're going to ask them to come into it. There would be no one here. No one. Nobody would show up if we were, hey, Ben's going to cook for everybody. Yeah, because I'm not going to, but you're going to cook for everybody. And we'd
Morning
like
shows always get left out. We're doing a big
bash.
family breakfast.
Yeah, family breakfast. And we're going to do that at 7 a.m. So we'd like all of the salespeople and the management.
Which Ben can't really do because we're also on the air from 6 till 7.
That's exactly right.
So I
That's
guess we'll have
exactly
to
right.
make it 5:30.
Left out again of the summer barbecue here at Odyssey. So it's a bummer. Looks good, though.
We
It looked
were
good.
invited.
We were invited.
I
But
just don't know that there's a better solution. You're asking for a solution that doesn't exist.
10 a.m.
10 a.m.'s early. Early for a barbecue lunch. No one does barbecue lunch at 10 a.m.
Well, then don't be upset if your morning shows don't show up.
Correct.
Okay. That's what I worry about. I worry that there are people like in management who are going, these guys aren't team players
Right.
because
Yes.
they don't stick around for the barbecue. I'm like, I wish I could stick around for the barbecue.
How about after the round table tomorrow? We could have done it.
Oh.
Yeah. How about that? We finish at
11
11.
o'clock,
That's a pretty happy,
I'll
happy
throw
medium.
burnt ends on a slice of round table pizza. No problem.
No problem at all. Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to do a barbecue lunch at 4 a.m. Anthony, the butcher, said he'll help out. So, yeah, just the three of us.
I mean,
and
bro, like,
Anthony.
if I get like a call or an email or a text from somebody in sales or whatever here at like 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
4 o'clock is like 8 p.m. my time.
Sure.
Because we get up so early.
Sure.
It's your time to shut it down. I don't call any of them at like 4:30
4
on my
a.m.
way into work.
I'm gonna
Hey,
start.
just wanted to double check.
Hey,
We're still good for those.
How we doing on those spots?
Yeah.
So good.
Have a little bit of.
Maggie says you guys were supposed to go out and barbecue and grill and bring stuff to the barbecue. Yeah, but it was 2 hours after we were off work. If you guys work 9 to 5s and they say, yeah, we're doing a dinner here at 7, nobody's staying. I mean, very few people are going to stay. They may beat traffic and stuff, but listen, it's fine. We're
And you're probably not going home just to come back
Right.
then at 7 o'clock as well.
That's exactly
It's just
right.
that awkward
Yeah,
moment.
I definitely, you want to feel like a team player, but it makes it difficult because of the schedule.
Like, I haven't
So-
even seen, like, JR kind of ran the show yesterday.
Yeah.
Our lead engineer. I have not even seen him this morning. Like, is he
He's
giving
in
us
meat.
the cold shoulder?
He's
Is he
got
mad?
he's got the meat sweats, maybe
Maybe.
because he ate so many ribs that we would have eaten.
I just don't want him to be upset with us.
I don't either.
The last time we had a company meal,
We got in trouble. Well, I threw up.
no, you got violently ill
Yeah,
on the air.
They did the they did the breakfast here, and they cooked me up a nice omelet with some bacon grease plastic inside, and I ate it, and then I vomited, and I went home. Remember that? That was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Maybe it's probably a good idea I passed on.
Possibly.
All right.
Your gut thanks you.
That was
Sounds
was
like
something.
it was good yesterday.
Oh, I guess Craig and Annie in their show, they said they were left out because they couldn't go because they were working. They live.
They're here.
They're here, though.
They have commercial breaks.
Yeah, you could have run in and got something.
Grab a rib or two.
Yeah, the vomlet. That's what I ate. The vomlet last time.
I don't know about them, but trust me, if I was on the air from 10 to 2 and there was barbecue,
I would have gone.
I would have found a way to
All right,
get.
welcome back. Let's talk about Drax from Merrill. Yeah.
Would have found a way to eat some barbecue.
Well, let's go to break now so I can go get a cupcake.
All right, go get a cupcake. We'll come back. We'll hear from, speaking of Jackson Merrill, we'll hear from him last night if you missed it on, was it MLB Network where he was on?
Yes.
MLB Network, a little Jackson Merrill content for you. Coming up with Ben and Woods. Don't go away. San Diego's #1 sports station. Traffic right now on 97.3 The Fan.
Don't worry, guys. I got you covered.
Took care of us.
I did. I went to the break room, the kitchen, as it were, and fixed everybody a little plate of leftovers.
Some burnt ends, potato salad.
It's yours.
Thank you,
Ben and Paulie.
What happened to
the top fell off your cupcake, and I know you're trying to watch your weight.
So I get a
just,
frostingless
smash it back
cupcake and a
Hawaiian roll?
A dinner roll.
That's King's Hawaiian roll.
Okay, but it's obviously a little older.
A cupcake on my Hawaiian.
And then there's some leftover cornbread crumbs. So I brought you guys.
Oh, is that what that is?
Just crumbs.
They're crumbs from the cornbread, and it's just an assortment of breads.
I was hoping for burnt ends and
No, I think all the good stuff's gone.
a tortellini salad
No more
sounded
brisket.
good.
No, we got.
So they ate it all.
They did.
So they didn't have enough for us anyway.
I don't think so. Or
Apparently.
they overindulged.
Or did they all take it home with them afterwards?
That would piss me off, actually. They all made plates to take home and didn't leave any.
You're eating your
King's Hawaiian roll, delicious.
Have you had your cupcake yet?
Oh, I'm saving it.
You got frosting on yours.
Yeah, I got frosting on mine. Well, I know you're watching your weight. So.
Thanks.
Yep.
That is one of the keys at sdfatloss.com.
Yeah.
Remove the frosting from your cupcakes.
We got you guys all taken care of.
Fine.
Yeah. What'd you guys want to do here? Jackson Merrill?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm good.
Assortment of breads left over.
I would think, obviously, it's not the end of the world if you go to your first All-Star game. Some guys don't even get in. Pitchers especially, they don't use everybody. But I would think that if you go to the first All-Star game, you want to get that first hit out of the way. If you're a pitcher, record an out, get a strikeout. And all three of the Padres who participated last night were their first All-Star game experiences. Yep. And they all got to leave Texas having something notched under their belts. Jurickson singled and scored a run, went 1 for 2. Jackson Merrill laced a line out and then got an infield single in his last at-bat, so 1 for 2. And Robert Suarez, 2/3 of an inning, 2 strikeouts, struck out both batters he faced. So you're probably feeling pretty good about your first All-Star experience if you're any one of those 3 San Diego Padres.
No question. And, again, for guys like Robert Suarez, 33 years old, guys like Jurickson Profar, could be your last one. Jackson Merrill, the future's bright. Doesn't mean you'll ever get back, though. It does not mean you will ever set foot in an All-Star game again. And you've heard from so many baseball players over the years that made the playoffs their first season. They're like, this is great. We're gonna do this every year. Never made it again.
Yeah, the reality is he could put up better numbers every year and still not make it.
100%.
It all depends on what other guys are doing and what the situation is. It worked out well for him this year to get to the All-Star game, but
I liked what Paul Skeens said yesterday. Now, he was the starting pitcher for the National League and went out and got his 4 batters, got through it and was great. It was awesome. So good to see, so fun to watch. But instead of, all right, that was a lot of fun. I'm going to take it down, get in my street clothes and go kick it with my girlfriend, Livy Dunn. He stayed in the dugout and he stayed the entire time. Said he went down the hall, the tunnel to grab a bite to eat, but he was eating with other pitchers in the NL. And they asked him why he did it. And he goes, I was literally just picking guys' brains the whole time I was there. That's pretty amazing. He's a young kid, but he clearly gets it.
I know that the leaving early is a thing for the starters. Like, okay, this is my All-Star break, and now that I'm out of the game in the 4th inning, I can go home. I can just leave now. I just don't think I could do it. I understand that it's a business for them. It's work. And they are ready for a little vacation time, and it's already been interrupted by that. They've already had 2 of their vacation days essentially canceled with extra work by going to the All-Star game. I know that sounds so spoiled, but it is true. This is their job. They get 1 break during the year that is 4 days long, and if you make the All-Star game, you get 2 of them canceled, essentially. And all you get is Wednesday and maybe part of Thursday. And then your team expects you back. You may be getting on a plane for a road trip like the Padres are on Thursday. So you kind of want to get home and get going with your vacation. At the same time, if I was at an All-Star game, I don't care if I'd been there 10 times. I'd want to be there for the whole game. be there, see what happens with all the teammates.
Yeah, no doubt.
Be in the dugout. I think it'd be tough to leave.
Yeah, it would be. Salvador Perez, I think it was his 8th or 9th or something last night, and he was talking about how much he loves it and how special they all are. And yeah, I mean, just that honor is incredible. It's just incredible. I loved what Skeen said. He's down there working, man. He's trying to get better, which is fantastic. And I think Jackson, you hear him talk, same type of thing. You know, picking guys' brains.
So, like Paul Skeen's first experience for Jackson Merrill, and he talked a little bit about that first All-Star experience and more yesterday on MLB Network.
Guys, I'm here with San Diego Padres center fielder Jackson Merrill. Jackson, how's your first All-Star game been, buddy?
This was Jake,
awesome.
by the
It's
way.
been great. Met a lot of new people that I've played against and I really got to talk to, so it's been cool.
Who's been in your batting practice, Groot, and how was that?
I haven't even hit yet, but I get to hit with CJ, Ellie, and Elliott. So, a lot of homers coming.
Look, you've come up as a rookie, and the sense of belonging just has been there. Where does that come from?
It's just being comfortable and just be yourself. Don't try to do too much. Don't try to be a different person. Be yourself every day, and everything will play out.
As a San Diego Padre, I've been telling people this year's team is a little bit different, dangerous. Tell me why the Padres get in and make noise in the playoffs.
We got culture. We got a lot of family in the clubhouse. We got a lot of people that have a lot of other people's backs. We're there to fight every day for each other, and that's really important on a team.
You're going to see this young man's face for a long time. Jackson Merrill, we appreciate the time, my man.
All right, so in some ways, the last answer there is something you say, but I also think it's true that this, like last year's San Diego Padres team, they were always trying to explain why things were okay.
Wrong.
No,
Right.
I mean, but, like
yes.
like things seemed better than it looked like from the outside. No. We like each other,
Yeah,
so
no, it's fine.
It's all fine. This year's team, there does seem to be like some genuine camaraderie,
and
pulling on the same rope.
I don't want to.
It hasn't really had a huge
That's what I was
difference
just going
in
to
the
say.
standings.
Is like I don't want to like be the negative Nancy, but I will say, at the end of the year, you still have to have. You can have all the desire and all the chemistry and all of the having each other's back. You still have to have the talent to rise to the top. Now, I agree fully that if we can find a way to get in and be healthy when we get in, nobody wants to play this team. Nobody. No one wants them. And, I mean, years ago, you'd look, we got the Padres in the first round, easy draw. I mean, do we even need BP for this? Well, that's exactly what happened to the Dodgers. They didn't even hit BP. They didn't hit BP.
That's right.
Remember that? I mean, Mookie Betts was like, no, we're good.
It's just the Padres.
It's just the Padres. Nobody will take this team lightly. And I do feel like if they get it, I'm not saying they're going to cruise to the World Series.
Is it extra sweet because this is against the Dodgers?
I'm not saying they're going to even win a game. But what I'm saying is you're going to get some pretty badass effort if they're healthy, if they can find a way in. That's why this has felt a little different this year.
That's the trick, though, because as you were saying, no amount of will, camaraderie,
want to,
and good feeling overcomes a lack of pitching depth.
I mean, the White Sox could love each other madly. They could go out and rage in Chicago and party together every night and be the best of friends. At the end of the day, do you have the talent to get there? And the answer for certain teams is no. Now, A.J. Preller, it's kind of on him at this point. It's kind of on some things that are out of anybody's control, like if you comes back, all of that, it's out of everyone's control.
And while there has been offensive inconsistency as well, I don't look at that as being quite as critical. The Phillies have offensive inconsistency. Sure. Every team goes through offensive ups and downs. You have a few guys slumping at once. That happens to everybody. For the most part, the Padres have shown a pretty good ability, bat to ball, getting base hits, putting together rallies, big innings. Offensively, they've been fine. They'll be better when Tatis comes back, but they've been pretty good. It's clearly the pitching that is the concern going forward. Poor starts from some starters, inconsistency from some starters, and a bullpen that is just a ticking time bomb. It's good at times. Guys have all put together good runs, but then you snap your fingers and it's over, and when it is, the ball is flying out of the yard. Home runs given up like crazy from that bullpen, and that is hard to overcome.
It really is, man.
And still get your team to the playoffs. Too many just instant losses. When you give up 4 runs in the first 3 innings, I mean, yeah, you're going to come back once or twice, but most often, instant loss. Your bullpen explodes one day and gives up 5 runs, instant loss.
Yeah.
I mean, these are all kinds of things that have led to so many, 49 losses the Padres have. How many do you think you can blame either on a poor starting pitching performance in the first, 3 innings, or on a bullpen explosion that you weren't really thinking was going to happen? Maybe 35 of them?
Yeah. Seriously, it's exactly right.
There's a few losses that are, they pitched pretty well, and they just got beat that day because the offense didn't show up. But I would say at least half of the Padres' losses were starting pitching just wasn't good that day, and they put themselves in a deep hole, or starting pitching was decent, but then the bullpen just went boom, unexpectedly.
Yeah, the only thing that gives me a little bit of hope is that they have been a little bit out of sync. When one's doing well, the other kind of falters, and vice versa. You would like to see those things come together, and there's no guarantee that they will. But if that happens, you can patchwork your way into. You still need more. I mean, you don't have enough literally bodies right now to get the job done. So you're gonna need more, and you're gonna need contributions from the guys that are in there. The Waldrons they got to stay hot. Dylan Cease has got to stay hot. Joe Musgrove's got to get back. Yu Darvish, we don't know. He's such a wild card. But, I think it's incumbent on A.J. Preller right now, Ben, to try his very best to restock, give these guys a little bit of a breather, because the second half is going to be nasty, and right out of the gate.
I surprised you guys earlier. You guys were both a little more optimistic in your guessing, but I asked you guys before the show started, what would you guess the FanGraphs analytical driven prediction is, or percentage chances are for the Padres to make the playoffs? And you guys both said 52.
I said 46, and Wood said over 50. But I figure they're out of a playoff spot right now, so it's probably under 50 somewhere.
They are tied with the Diamondbacks at 39.4% chance of making the playoffs.
Don't you guys remember last year watching that number daily?
Yeah.
And
we
it
literally
just,
had daily check-ins on it.
87%, 84, 81.
How about in 2021? I think it was up in the 90s at some point.
Yeah, dude.
They ended up not even close to the playoffs at the end.
So it's going to take. It's not going to take a miracle by any stretch. It's not going to be a miracle.
No, 390. Tony Gwynn at his very best, going up and having a chance to get a base hit. You feel pretty good about that.
Yep.
But that's the chances right now.
But that number, that 39.4%, could change dramatically if you don't take care of business on this upcoming road trip starting on Friday.
It did on this last homestand. It was well over 50 when the last homestand started.
100%.
Now it's at 39. So it can go either way when they come out of the break. All right, when we come out of the break, Rob Manfred addressed a number of issues yesterday, talking with the media, including the robot umpires who may be coming to Major League Baseball, the Olympics, and whether baseball players from the major leagues will be participating in those, and gambling in the sport as well. We'll address some of those topics as well on our show coming up next year on 97.3 The Fan. Baseball coverage on 97.3 The Fan is presented by T-Mobile. Switch to T-Mobile. You can get tons of benefits and still save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. Use their savings calculator to find out how at T-Mobile.com/switch. Well, we've been talking about robot umpires and automated ball and strike system for several years now, but there is finally an actual plan in place that was revealed yesterday by MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred. We'll talk about what is going to be different about baseball starting next spring training, right after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Drive-Thru Oil Change, your trusted instant drive-thru oil change. Had a crash on westbound 8, right at the 15. It's over the right shoulder, and tow truck is helping to clear a crash on southbound 15, El Cajon Boulevard. Now traveling on the westbound 56, past Camino del Sur, there is a collision blocking the fast lane. Stop by in the 30 San Diego Valvoline Instant Drive-Thru Oil Change Centers. You don't have to get out of your car. It usually only takes 15 minutes or less. Plus, get a free courtesy check of your tires and battery. Visit SoCalOilChange.com for directions and discounts. SoCalOilChange.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
So while the automated strike system seems fairly cutting edge for big league baseball fans like ourselves, it really isn't that new. It's for 5 years now. Major League Baseball has been experimenting in the minor leagues with different systems, including this year, in which all AAA ballparks have an automatic strike zone. It started out that half the games were using it just every call. Umpire in the behind home plate didn't have to do anything other than register what he heard in his ear, strike or ball, and just would let everybody know. The other half of the games were using a challenge system where the umpire would call it with the human element, but you could use a challenge if you were a batter and you thought, hey, he just called a strike on me that was outside the zone. You tap your helmet, and they go to the replay, and it quickly and efficiently decides whether it was a ball or a strike. So they have already changed that. It's now all challenge system in the minor leagues. They preferred not having the automatic umpire call every pitch, which kind of tells you that probably never going to be that way, or at least not in the near future in Major League Baseball. There's not simply going to be no human element. Umpires will still call balls and strikes. But starting next spring, they're going to experiment now with a challenge system in big league baseball, in giving players the opportunity to challenge the home plate umpire's call on balls and strikes. Don't know how many exactly necessarily. Is it 3 per game? Is it 1 per inning? I don't know what the details, and they'll probably still be working it out. But even if it goes well, Manfred said yesterday, we're not looking to implement it for regular season games until 2026. Okay. So we're still a year and a half away from possibly real games being impacted by a robot strike zone.
I've come around a lot, I think, to the idea of, no robot, right? Just, my take was always, if I'm an umpire, won't you be upset? No, you took the hardest part of my gig. I work every day, and I rotate the bases. And I think they would all say working home plate, probably the most exciting, but probably the most difficult. And it's the one that you get the most grief for. And if you took the hardest part of my job out and I still made the same money, great. I'm all in. And where do I sign up for that? It might take my ego out of it entirely. You're taking the hardest part of my job out. I'm going to make the same money, and you're doing all the work for me. Sold. Where do I sign up? It's like, hey, Woodsy, you want to do it on the radio, but you don't have to talk? You don't have to come up with any ideas? Yeah, it sounds good. Where do I sign? Right? But I heard Chris Ello talking about this yesterday with Italian Paul. And Tony Gwynn Jr. has mentioned as well, the strike zone isn't a uniform strike zone on every player. Your strike zone is different than mine, that is different than Paul's. That's just how it is. Altuve's is different than Judge's, right? Because they're different size players,
I mean, if two guys are, Paul and I are about the same height.
Right.
Shouldn't our strike zones essentially be the same?
Essentially, though. But you know what I'm saying? It's Altuve and Judge. Ellie De La Cruz and so-and-so. It's going to be different. And the computers can't really do that yet. They have not figured out a way to make it perfect. And so with the challenge system, no problem. Hey, I disagree with that call, man. Boom, tap my head. Actually, it was a strike. But what's it based on? Is it based on the player? Is it based on the box? You know, I know a lot of people hate the box. I love the box. I don't ever want the box taken away. It gives me an idea. There was last night, it was like they didn't have the box, and then there was like a faint box, I thought.
I saw like Mike Cameron tweeted, I love that they don't have the box.
But
they did have the box. It was just
faint.
a little bit more understated.
Yeah, because there's a couple pitches I saw, and I went...
And pitches either lit up or didn't lit up with the full dot or the empty dot, whether it was a ball or a strike. But I thought it was a nice little adjustment that Fox made. They unveil new things in the All-Star game sometimes that will then be implemented in regular season broadcasts. Rob Manfred says the technology is really good. It's accurate to 1/100th of an inch at this point. But he says it's not perfect yet. And if he's going to make a mistake, it's going to be waiting a little bit longer to see if they can get it as accurate as possible rather than rushing to implement something and then realizing that they have a problem on their hands. And I think the one that I've heard discussed that could be the biggest problem is there are pitches that no one disagrees are balls sometimes. Even the batter, even the pitcher. Like, I missed that one. It was a slider way down. But somehow it ticked the zone as it went by. Like it caught the bottom corner of as it was falling away. And even the pitcher never thought it was a strike.
Correct.
But the zone says it is.
Right.
Do you want those pitches now called strikes that everyone kind of agreed in the past was a ball?
You know, you have a limited number of challenges, so use them judiciously is all I'll say. We talk a lot about the spirit of the rule. And when Ellie De La Cruz steals second base and his quad comes off the base for a split second and somebody's got a tag on him, is he really out? Is he really out? Or did he swipe that bag? He swiped it. That's a steal. You're
not talking about a guy who like slides past the base, comes all the way off of it, and then he's tagged.
I'm talking about
you're
exactly
laying
what
on
I
the
mean.
base, but because of physics, as you're bumping over, your stomach
hand comes off.
It just kind of comes off half for a second.
And we've seen those, and those are the ones that make me bang my head against the wall. And that you feel like you got away with one there. So I think as long as you can keep it, Ben, again, with there's a certain number of challenges that you have. Problem is going to be this. Who do you trust with your challenge? Like, if it's Luis Arise, and let's do Mike Schilt. If you're Mike Schilt, your pregame meeting. All right, we got 9 challenges to use, and Luis Arise, you trust him more than you trust.
I mean, the players who roll their eyes on pitches that are in the zone.
Manny's gonna be
I don't want you doing it all the time.
Exactly.
But you know what? Ultimately, for fans, isn't that just another element
of come on
for us to talk about?
Yes.
And, make the game even more interesting. If I'm a manager, if I'm a player, if I'm an umpire, I don't know that. Yeah, this is going to be harder for everybody in certain ways. You said the umpire, as you said, if they just did it automatically all the time, takes it off my plate. I don't even have to worry about it. But with a challenge, you're not only embarrassed on TV by the box, you're embarrassed in front of the crowd that's there instantly. Oh, I got that one wrong, and I get to find out immediately. Just like I always wonder when they, the challenges on plays at the first base, and they immediately challenge. If I'm the first base umpire, I just call the guy out, and it takes about 8 seconds to overturn my call, I feel like an idiot.
Yeah, you feel like an umpire. Yeah.
I feel like an idiot.
For sure. No, I don't know entirely what the answer is, but I do know that there is one, and there is a better way to do it. There's a better way to make the game more accurate, and I think that's what we all want. We've all seen egregious calls, and again, we've talked to so many experts on this show that say, well, actually, umpires are better now than they've ever been. Great. Maybe across the board, but that's graded on a curve. There's really good ones, and then there are ones that are absolute horse ass. Doug Eddings doesn't know what he's doing. CB Buckner, they don't know what they're doing back there. They're so egregiously bad that it's so hard to watch those games when they're behind the dish.
Who was behind the plate last night? He was pretty good.
I don't know. Probably
felt solid.
Who's the guy that just got popped for gambling that had the potential?
The perfect one.
Perfect.
Yeah. It wasn't him. I bet.
I mean,
Hoberg.
Yeah. So I just it's got to be better, and that's fine. Let's experiment with it to get it better.
One other topic that was brought up, Rob Manfred said that players have pretty much overwhelmingly said they would like the ability to play baseball in the Olympics, possibly as soon as 2028 when the Olympics come to Los Angeles.
All right.
Logistically, though,
nightmare.
This is a
Pure
nightmare scenario for Major League Baseball.
Pure
Olympic,
nightmare.
2-week tournament in the middle of summer, in the middle of a season. Do you keep playing the season without some of your biggest stars? I mean, not just American stars, but presumably every country that has Major League Baseball players is going to want their stars. So you deplete every roster or most rosters and just keep playing, or you take 2 full weeks off. Do you skip an all-star game and add another week to it so they can do that? How is that possibly going to work? Do you shorten the season, and then the owners are going, well, what about all the revenue from those extra 15 games we're not playing? How do you do it? Do you extend the season and take the playoffs in the middle of November at the end of the World Series? Do you start in March when it's snowing at Fenway Park on opening day? There's really no great solution that gets Major League Baseball players to the Olympics in the middle of the summer, even though, yes, they want to do it. I'm okay with just saying, you know what? It's just not a thing. We have the World Baseball Classic, which is good. It's not perfect.
I'd rather bang the World Baseball Classic and
do the
every
Olympics.
4 years just take 2 weeks off in July.
Because that's
whatever.
essentially what it is. It's
Kind
the
of.
world.
I mean, it's been weird with COVID. That changed the schedule.
It's always, though, in March when pitchers aren't stretched out.
Which
and
is also
they're
a
not throwing
problem.
normally. So
We've talked about maybe that needs to replace the All-Star game every 3 or 4 years or whatever it is.
We've talked about that with literal managers that said, no, it's because of this. I don't have my, one of my best pitchers because of this tournament. And
it undoubtedly hurt the Padres last
undoubtedly,
year.
no question. So I don't know there. A lot of guys always say, playing for country is like the highest honor. They've asked them World Series or gold medal, like to a man, they're like gold medal.
I mean, the World Baseball Classic, I could take it or leave it.
I
But
like
I think
it.
it's a good idea. The international play
Yeah,
and
it's
everything.
awesome.
So if baseball's going to be in the Olympics,
Then just do that.
Then just let every country.
I mean, it
stock
already
up their
is,
teams.
but it's usually a bunch of minor leaguers and a couple college players, and we have an Olympic baseball tournament, but no one pays attention to it
because the stars aren't
It's like
in it.
watching a single A game or a double A game or something like that. They're just not. There's no star players involved, so why would we care about it?
What does the NHL do? They're talking about it in the chat. They have had the same issue where they have been trying to replace their teams going to the Winter Olympics. Most of the internet hockey community wants the pros in the Olympics.
I feel like last time they did an Olympic break. Did that.
I think the answer
But they
is
play indoors. They can stretch the season a little bit out on both ends. It doesn't change things. Baseball played outdoors. You can't stretch the season earlier in March or later in November. It's already stretched to the absolute limits.
It pretty much is, and shortening games. No owner's going to sign up for that.
No.
15 fewer games, 20 fewer games, whatever it is. It says they did a break. Yeah, I don't know. I love it though. I love the idea of Jackson Merrill going out and playing for Team USA would be badass. And Manny Machado playing for the Dominican team. Like, I love it. I love the World Baseball Classic. I think you just have to let them play. You have to let them play for the country if they want
to have both. You're not going to have a World Baseball Classic and an Olympics, and then you're having every 2 years you've got this going on essentially. To me, that's too much. One or the other. Figure it out. One or the other. I don't need both the World Baseball Classic and a full Olympic tournament with Major League Baseball players.
Think about it. Let's call it what would it be? A 2-week break
2
in
weeks.
July.
Yeah.
No All-Star game that year.
Yeah.
That's one of the weeks essentially.
How many Padres players? How many players on your favorite team could use 2 weeks off, even if they're not playing in the World or the Olympics?
FYI, we're gonna take that full 2 when that happens.
Oh yeah.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
I can only
Second
do
week of Bennewood's summer break.
Just like, my God.
We'd actually have a lot of content. Olympic baseball tournament action
Luis
would be
Arise
very entertaining.
could use those 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Profar, Tatis, Bogarts, who's just coming back. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think anybody'd say no to that.
It's always a zero-sum game, though. Other teams get healthy, too, or maybe you
Don't care
are
about other
healthy and
teams.
you're
I care
taking
about my
advantage of the other teams that aren't healthy one year, and all of a sudden, all your advantage disappears because of that 2-week break. Can't benefit everybody, Paulie. It can only benefit some teams and hurt other teams.
Michael says NBA, NHL, soccer all have World Cups. The stars play in those. Why must baseball have one or the other?
The Olympic soccer is not the full thing. That's just under 23 for the men, at least. They don't have the full stars from around the world for that.
All the NBA, all the basketball tournaments, whether it's the World Cup or
NBA,
FIBA or
NBA
whatever.
is outside their season, so that's pretty simple for them to do.
Yeah, the Summer Olympics happen in the summer, which is where you're playing baseball. You're not playing any other sport.
Unless you get a dome
Of the big four.
stadiums and make it a Winter Olympic sport,
Right.
baseball.
Yeah.
All right, final hour coming up. Paulie's got some headlines in the Reindl Report and more. Stick around. Ben and Woods continuing on summer break on 97.3 The Fan. We'll be right back.
Did you guys have a little, not FOMO, but last night watching the All-Star game, didn't it make you miss the one that was here? And don't you want another one here, ASAFP?
My wife goes, when's San Diego just going to get it again? And I go, well, it's not like the Super Bowl where they rotate between like 5 cities.
Right.
They probably should, but they don't. Everybody gets one. I'm like, San Diego's not getting one for like 20 years.
You think?
They really, at least for now, Major League Baseball has been kind of fairsies when it comes to the All-Star game and distributing it around to the different teams, which is weird because most sports don't do fairsies. They do the places that they feel are going to be the best showcases for the games and, the best venues for the games. But essentially, they pretty much just take turns going around each of the different places.
The Super Bowl is like Vegas, SoFi, Phoenix,
Dallas,
back to Vegas, Dallas, SoFi,
Arizona,
again.
Let's see. Let's go.
State Fart Stadium.
So
as Ben calls it.
2026 is already decided in Philadelphia. Next year in Atlanta.
26 in Philly.
Just had Arlington. All right. Before that, Seattle, LA.
All-Star game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before that, there's just the list: Seattle, LA, Denver, Cleveland, Washington D.C., Miami, San Diego, 2016, Cincinnati, Minneapolis, New York City, Kansas City, Phoenix, Anaheim, St. Louis. New York City did get it twice there. San Francisco. Pittsburgh, Detroit, Houston, Chicago, Milwaukee. They really just
gotta wait
go
your turn
everywhere, and you have to wait your turn.
Imagine giving Dick Manfart like another world All-Star game, and owners that don't spend money and rewarding them with all that entails.
Like which ballpark would you think has hosted the most All-Star games in baseball history?
Which ballpark?
Yeah.
Bush, no. Cincinnati.
I was thinking like Cincinnati.
Cincinnati,
St. Louis.
maybe.
It's pretty obvious. It's the two oldest ones, Wrigley and
Fenway.
And they've both hosted 3 in like 100 years.
You're kidding.
I guess that's the most. 3.
How many of the San Diego Padres hosted?
2.
Just 2.
One at the Q and one at Petco
No, somebody
Park.
said 78 also. Was that right? Here?
Oh, they did. Yeah. Okay,
78.
so 2 at the Q
They've
and
had
1
3.
here. So they've had 3, but not at the same
Not
ballpark.
at the same ballpark.
Right.
But Wrigley, 47, 62, 90. Fenway, 46, 61, 99. And then, everywhere else is basically 2. Oh, Angel Stadium has 3, too. 67, 89, 2010. But those are 3 of the older ballparks in the league. Everywhere else, maximum of 2 at this point.
Interesting. All right, well, Bo,
it's
when
like
you're 23, look forward to that.
It's a much smaller scale.
The old
but, like,
Yankee
the winter
Stadium
meeting
had
should be
4.
in San Diego
That's
every year.
discontinued.
Yeah, 100%.
So you just kind of have to wait your turn. Unfortunately, their turn, if it goes in order, won't come until the 2040s, which seems like a long way off.
Will we even be here? We won't be here.
No.
I won't be here. I'll promise you that in 2040.
I don't know if it'll be called 97.3 The Fan, but they're
97.3 The Machine.
Hey, can you guys do a special All-Star game show on Sunday for the workout day?
Adam, I'm 73 years old, dude. I do not want to do an All-Star roundtable. Are you insane? I'm 70. Should I bring my colostomy bag with me? Like, I can't do this. Stop asking me to do roundtables. You're killing me. You're absolutely killing me. It just hit me again that we have a roundtable tomorrow.
So much to talk about.
During the All-Star break. So, Jackson Merrill, what do you think of this kid?
He's
so good.
It's the second half preview edition of the roundtable.
You are joking.
I'm not, because I'm the one who has to come up with the questions and the topics.
We have.
I don't have all of them yet. I'm still working on it.
You need some help?
Yeah.
All right, ask Paulie.
Okay.
All right.
Paulie, can you help me out with a Reindl Report? And get things started here with our today's edition of the Reindl Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Reindl Report with Paul Reindl.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Okay, how are you?
on 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a oh yeah? Oh yeah.
All right.
Paulie Ray in the chat said, by then, what Ben likes, things Ben likes will be 4 hours long.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
A full show.
A full show. Hey, you wanted a round table? Here you go. 4 hours of what Ben likes.
Oh, man.
I like Ensure. I like Depends. Yeah, by that time.
I like our AI robotic overlords.
I like Metamucil.
I like Metamucil. Take it away, Paulie.
All righty. Thank you. I want to start off. We were discussing this yesterday when we were talking about Monday's home run derby. It was fine. It was lacking, though. You know, when you don't have Judge, Stanton, Ohtani, etc. in the home run derby, it kind of, like, you're kind of up against it from the beginning.
Yeah.
You're just like...
Bunch of shortstops in there. Bobby Witt,
Yeah,
Gunnar, the great players.
Like, really, really good players, but they're not the big boys. I want to give credit to John Boy. He posted a video this morning. He has an idea of how to get the best home run hitters in the game as part of the home run derby every year, and he's following the...
Kidnap their families and make them
for
participate.
ransom.
Yes.
Put a gun. No. He is taking the Hard Knocks method. There's so much criteria that goes into Hard Knocks. If you have a new coach, you're not qualified or you're not eligible to be on the show.
Wait. That usually gets more teams out of having to do Hard Knocks than making them do Hard Knocks.
I'm just saying, he's kind of... It's the reverse of that, but they're putting some criteria to it. So here's what John Boy suggested.
I thought about how they do Hard Knocks. There's like criteria for who gets chosen, and this is baked into a contract with the league and the teams that they all sign. This is what I think would help the event get star power there. If you finished in the top 10 for home runs the year before, you're eligible to be chosen. If you are in the top 10 in Major League Baseball for home runs the current year in the first half, you're eligible to be chosen. That's going to weed you down to about 15 guys. If you've done it in the last 2 years, you can say nope. If you had an IL stint in the month of May, June, or July, you don't have to do it. It has to be less rounds and less swings. So you got to shrink the field to 6 guys, top 3 advance, those 3 go, winner wins. Make it a 2.5 hour event. Take away the cash prize. So you pay $1 million to the winner right now. Just divide that between the 6 of them. I don't know if they wanted to incentivize the big stars because now it's money, but I actually think what they did was anyone that's got a $300 million contract isn't going to go enter the sweepstakes to steal money from the dude making $500,000.
Good point. Yeah. I was gonna suggest, because I think I heard Andy and Elston talk about it. Just 4 players, $1 million to the winner.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's just 2 rounds. It's a semifinal and a final. It's not that bad. They'll do that.
I just want to see tanks, man. I just want to see big old tanks. I don't want to see the big prodigious home run hitters in it. I love Bobby Witt. I love Gunnar Henderson. I love Alec Boehm. Nothing against those guys. I would cut off an appendage to have any or all 3 of them on my team. They're phenomenal. But again, probably not wired for the home run derby.
I would point out to John Boy, because he did say, okay, you have a injury-less stint early in the season. You don't have to do it. What about the guy like Manny Machado, who's been playing through injuries all year?
Yeah.
Finally
didn't take a stint.
I didn't take a stint. Oh, I have to do it now? You mean I finally get a chance where I can take a couple of days off, and you're making me do the home run derby because I didn't take an injury-less stint?
You can add criteria to it. You got 10 years in the league, you don't have to do it.
You're back to the field that we had yesterday.
Not
if you have too
necessarily.
many outs.
Shohei Ohtani doesn't have 10 years in the league.
No, but if you have too many outs, you're not going to have the kind of field you want to have.
Aaron Judge would have been in. Yeah.
And maybe that incentivizes Manny to take a 10-day IL stint in May when he probably could have used it.
That's 4D chess.
Is that
right
what
there.
we want? We want Manny to take more IL stints for his own good?
I don't, but I'm just saying. All right, not finally. We got our second story here. So I only watch Red Zone when it comes to my NFL experience. Sunday Night Football is on. We'll probably have Monday Night Football on, but as far as like the Sunday slate of games, Red Zone's elite. It's the way to go, especially if you don't have a team. You're going to see everything you could possibly need to see. One of the guys that did NFL Red Zone, and I still don't know exactly who did what, but Andrew Siciliano used to host one.
Yeah, there was one that was on DirecTV. I think that was
Siciliano.
Siciliano, and then the other one was Brian Hansen, who's terrific for everything else, right? Scott Hansen.
Scott Hansen. I was like, it's not Brian.
Not Brian.
Scott Hansen hosts for NFL Network now. So Andrew Siciliano is no longer with the network. He's no longer hosting that version of the Red Zone. It's gone. But he's going to be doing the Gold Zone.
Oh.
And that is going to be...
Just between the 20s and not ever seeing any of the touchdowns. No.
Everything else.
Everything else.
Just fumbles. No, so he's going to be working with Peacock, and he will be live streaming on Peacock during the Olympics, and he's going to be doing a Red Zone style show, cutting right to the action,
Different events.
right to whatever you need to see in the Olympics. You're not going to have to wait around in between trials or anything like that if you're watching the actual Olympic broadcast.
It's on Peacock.
It's on Peacock.
I like this idea. Surprise, surprise.
I love it.
You know, so much of Olympic
There's a lot of
coverage
fluff.
is pre-packaged, tape delayed, you know, for the masses, for primetime viewing on NBC, which is fine. They do a good job of it. But if you're a sports fan, it's not what you're used to watching. You want to see live drama play out, but then you end up having to watch like 2.5 hours of trials and semifinals and finals of guys running the same 100-meter race over and over again, and it gets kind of boring. But what if all you got were the best parts?
I'm in.
Back and forth to different events. All right, this is happening now. This is happening now. And you don't have to go to 17 different NBC affiliate options to find the equestrian. Oh, right now they're doing the finals of the show jumping. I would watch that, actually.
Yeah,
if I knew
finals,
it was
sure.
on
Now, I
right
think
then,
they've
if I
done
don't have to
this.
find it myself, I would do it.
I believe they've done this for past Olympics, but it was like streaming online or something like that. Now with most people on board with the smart TVs, the Rokus, the Amazon Fire Sticks or whatever, like this will be their biggest audience being on Peacock streaming the Gold Zone.
My wife is such an Olympics lover. I'm going to be inundated in my home, whether I like it or not. with
Scott
the
Hansen
Olympics.
will be a part of it as well. He's going to be helping out
Oh, nice.
with Siciliano. So it'll be both the NFL Red Zone guys and then Akbar Gabija.
You got it.
Gabajamila Mila?
No, close. Bajabiamila. The G is kind of sound. Bajabiamila.
Bajabiamila.
San Diego State guy, Paul. You probably
I
went to
know.
school with him.
I know.
Or Kabir.
He was right before me.
Akbar was right before you, or Kabir? They both went to.
Akbar was right before me.
All right.
I'd have to look. Nobody cares though.
Bajabiamila.
But yeah, so I'm all in on the Gold Zone.
Yeah,
for the
I think
Olympic
that's
coverage.
good. That's a good idea.
All right, and then finally, I haven't even sifted through this story. Woods just sent it over and said, "This is your story today," and it's about a man, I think, living a dream that we've all had probably at some point. Maybe not this particular store, but we've all thought, what would this be like? Florida man broke into a Walgreens. We didn't break in, actually. He went into a Walgreens.
Went in when it was open.
You can go in during business hours, and he went and used the restroom. He stayed in the restroom for 5 hours until they closed up.
To make sure everyone was gone. Did he have to stand up
think
on
you
the
have to, like,
toilet
yeah, you gotta,
seat so they can't
raise
look
your
under and make sure no
legs,
one's in there? Yeah.
Stay in the stall, but hide your legs,
Yeah.
your feet. So he stayed in the bathroom for 5 hours, and then after they closed and all the employees left,
Shut it down.
he had himself a feast of junk food and just went crazy all night long inside of a...
What is that noise?
It's the camera clicking?
No. It sounds like it was wind is blowing through. You hear that? You hear?
Oh, I do hear that.
Yeah. What is that?
I don't know. Windstorm?
A windstorm in our studio. Sorry. What?
Doubt anyone can hear that driving in their car, but go ahead.
You sure?
Yeah. Pretty sure.
Just unplug my headphones. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's going to make a difference. A little bit.
All right. What did he eat?
Let's see here.
He's in a Walgreens.
As
remember.
officers arrived, they saw a male through the front door of the business stealing a pack of cigarettes from behind the counter.
Okay.
He just says a feast of junk food. He was found to have taken and consumed several items, including Tostitos spinach dip, chips, Reese's, Ghirardelli chocolate bars, Dr. Pepper.
Wait. Did he have access to a microwave? You don't want cold spinach dip.
There's no microwave at Walgreens.
That's what I'm thinking. That's a bad
You can eat
choice.
it cold out of the jar. You can.
It's got to be heated up.
I think you're missing
spinach dip has to be warm.
You're missing the plot here.
He's told police he just came in to use the restroom.
Yeah, 6 hours ago.
They did not say.
So, it's like an Ocean's 11 style heist.
That's a
with
heist.
Snacks.
Yes.
Charged with
Brilliant.
burglary of an unoccupied structure, larceny and petty theft, resisting an officer without violence, and battery on a law enforcement officer.
Wait, resisting.
Resisting.
Do they have to drag
an
him out of
officer
there?
without
Don't take me away from my
okay.
snacks.
Without violence.
Without violence, yeah. But yeah, he entered the business at 9:40 p.m. He went into the restroom, and then he was seen on.
Where was this? Walgreens?
Walgreens in Florida.
In Florida.
He left the bathroom at 2:42 in the morning.
Here's the question to ponder then while we take a break after the Reindl Report. If you had to be locked inside one store overnight, but you could do anything you wanted when you were in that store, what store would you choose?
That's why I say we've all thought about this.
Lovers, that adult superstore that we talked about yesterday. 100%.
Could get weird.
Could get very weird.
Think about it.
Don't know what you eat. Well, no, I do. There's food in there.
There's edible food. Edible things.
That's true.
Edible items.
That is true.
And we will come back and discuss on the other side here after a check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan. All right, you're trapped by choice overnight.
Yeah, no brainer here.
In any store you want. No brainer.
Costco, and it's not even
That's
close.
a good choice.
Yeah, that was my. I didn't even
Now,
think about it.
Actually, I could do a year there. A year.
Well,
they got everything.
Well, but a lot of their good stuff is in like the frozen food section.
So you go get it and bring it out.
Yeah, but you don't have a microwave again.
They literally sell ovens there.
That's a good point. But can you? That's a
Oh,
good
where are
point.
you going to sit? Well, they have couches.
They got couches?
Well, what are you going to watch? They have 100-inch TVs.
You really thought this through.
Yeah, video game. I'm begging you, somebody to lock me in a Costco for a year. A year. I could do a year there standing on my head, right?
Done.
It would be the greatest. They come in after, it looked like a war zone when they walk in after a year. Hey, how's it look? I'm 300 pounds. Oh, they have weights in there too. What don't they have at Costco that you would need? Nothing. The answer is nothing.
Beds.
I think they have beds.
They got everything. Did you say eggs or beds? Oh, they got beds? Yeah.
They got it all.
They got sheets. You can change your sheets.
Good. Yeah.
The washer and dryer.
If you needed medications.
The music.
You're good there.
I think they sell guitars. You can do anything. You could clear stuff out.
TVs. I don't know if you could attach the cable box or anything.
Yeah, but there's something. There's probably DVDs there, right? Alcohol.
Yeah.
Wow.
You'd have to open up a PS5 or something.
Yeah.
Hook up Netflix, sign in, but it's all there.
It's all there.
Lots of bread items. Those are good.
There's everything.
If you get sick, there's a pharmacy.
Yeah. You want to do the eye test? They have an optometrist.
Yeah,
if you want a new tire, if you want to roll tires down the aisles, you can. They sell tires.
Go get your arm and the blood pressure and just see how we're doing.
The blood pressure cuff.
Do they have those at Costco?
The worst.
It's more of a CVS thing in my mind.
Oh, I think they have one. They have everything.
I wouldn't choose Walgreens or CVS. I feel like you're very limited to.
You are.
Just little snack items and.
I remember as a kid,
toiletries.
it was always Toys R Us. I
big.
had dreams
Oh, yeah.
of being able to be locked into Toys R Us, and it's just have fun, go for it.
Tom Hanks sliding on the piano at where's that? FAO Schwartz.
FAO Schwartz. Yeah.
And
It'd be so much fun. So much fun. It'd be a blast. There's tents in Costco.
Costco's got to be number one.
Yeah, I don't know that I can beat Costco. That is a really good choice.
'Cause, even if you said Target, you're well, why wouldn't you just do Costco then?
Right. Ass Pro Shops.
Ass Pro Shops. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what would you do though
At Bass Pro Shops?
Yeah.
I don't know. Shoot BB guns and fish.
Dick's
and
Sporting
stuff.
Goods.
Dick's Sporting Goods would be fun for a while, but
bad.
Kind of lose its luster. They have some snacks up
They do.
front, but you're not living on Big League Chew and
sunflower
Prime.
seeds.
Plenty of beef jerky.
Yeah, there's those little
Gatorade chews.
Here's more of that runner's goo that I'm. Man, I'm so full of energy in here. Hang on.
I'm sorry, laugh at runners' goo. I'm sure there are some runners who love their goo. Tony Gwynn Jr. talks about eating some sort of. He's got his endorsement where he talks about his goo. He likes his magnesium.
Symbiotica?
That stuff works.
Yeah, Symbiotica.
The runner's goo works.
Tastes like delicious vanilla cream. He says. I don't know. I'm not really a person who just wants to eat goo.
Save that.
Oh, that's not bad. Have you ever been to Buc-ee's?
Yeah, Buc-ee's is great.
Like a giant truck stop would be a pretty good spot.
They have showers in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would never go in one now. I wouldn't stop in. I need to rinse. We're on our way to Arizona. Paul, you might take a quick shower. I'll be right back.
What? We're an hour away.
Dude, I smell. I'm so sweaty. Oh God!
I assume those are for truck drivers on multi-night runs,
Yeah,
and they want to
dude.
stop for a shower.
100%.
Feel refreshed. But yeah, I
100%.
can't imagine ever doing a truck stop shower myself.
I'll give you $100. The next time we go somewhere, I will give you one.
I'm good for $100.
$200 next trip to Arizona. You have to go in, and I mean fully nude, shower, towel, wash your hair, everything.
I'm sure there's a procedure for it.
We're just 20 miles outside of Gila Bend.
Me and Paulie,
Ben's
we're out front smoking cigarettes, waiting for Ben to get out of his shower. It's done. Next year, the truck stop shower is happening. It is happening. It's happening. It's happening. Write it down, Paulie. Put it in your phone for spring training bits.
Do they even have them at the
yeah,
the ones
at some of the ones we go, yeah.
San Diego and Phoenix, they have showers.
The Flying J, there's definitely showers in there.
Yeah.
Definitely. Will you do it?
For $100?
$200.
Yeah,
All right,
do that.
Done.
Why not?
I can't wait for this.
I mean, people do it.
Yeah.
You know, they do
you
it because they
don't do
want
it.
to do it.
You're
I
not
don't do
people.
It. I don't know. I'm not people. I know that.
You are not people. Ben in the chat says, I'll pay you $200 to cosplay as a blue-collar worker. I got $200 on that. I just want to see Ben do all the stuff he's never done. I want to see him wait tables. I want to see
change a tire.
I want to see him change a tire. Customer service. Like any of it. Any of it. You'd be good at customer service. You'd be really, really elite. You may not like it.
I don't think
but he would be good. Because he would wear it.
I have patience. I can wear it.
You don't get too.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I can see him getting in trouble with his work because he'd be like, you know what? Actually, I'm on your side.
I do agree with you.
We are overcharging.
But a good customer service rep will do that. They really will do that. I feel bad, man. I always try to be extra nice to them because you know they're getting chewed out on the daily. Dirty jobs featuring Ben, says Megan. Yes. But a dirty job for Ben is like mowing the lawn. That's like your dirty job.
That's the dirtiest job that I would even do. I don't do that anymore. I used to.
I can't wait for truck stop shower. I really can't wait. I wish it was here.
I clean our toilets.
Yeah.
And it's a dirty job.
It is a dirty job.
I do that. Ew. Yeah. Ew.
Is that him?
Ew.
Where's that from?
I don't know.
Where's that from?
Ew.
Where's that from?
I don't know.
Ew.
Fantastic. That's fantastic.
All right, let's take our final timeout. We're going until 10 o'clock. Annie and Elston coming up.
Oh, hello.
Hey, you two. Good morning.
We are back
My God.
to wrap things up. Final segment. The second half is almost upon us. Padres head out to Cleveland tomorrow.
Do you want to hear
Start the second half.
how the first half sounded?
Oh, we have that? Oh, I love
no.
that.
Padres heartbeat?
The Padres heartbeat. We
We've
did it
got
last year.
It's up to you guys.
Yeah, let's
it's
do
ready.
it. 99 games worth of Padres.
Oh, my God.
Encapsulated.
Yeah, by our audio.
Our audio. Coming up next.
Ben's audio.
Your audio.
With Ben Woods on 97.3 The Fan. Used to be they held the ESPYs on this day after the All-Star game. Kind of the emptiest day of the sports calendar. But they did that last week. So what are we left with today? I'm kind of curious here.
Sports-wise?
Yeah. There are 2 WNBA games, one at 10 o'clock this morning, and then the last WNBA game until after the Olympics will be Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever visiting Dallas at 4:30 on ESPN.
Okay.
You got a full slate of NBA Summer League games
Yes.
if you're interested in following the rookies,
I just
et cetera.
called this day the perfect day.
And then we got a lot of MLS action tonight. MLS taking advantage with a absolute, complete, every team is playing an MLS game tonight to make sure that they can be the one sports league that is fully midseason and trying to take advantage of day without baseball or really anything else.
Do you have to work news tonight?
I do not.
USOB, that time. It finally timed out good for you.
I know. So I'm off tonight.
Does Steve work for you?
No, Steve's in Hawaii. We have a new...
you have another Steve going to Hawaii soon.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Tolly, our newest reporter who did some sports back in...
I know her.
You know Tolly?
Didn't she work for the... Didn't she do SEAL stuff?
I don't think so.
What's her last name?
That's a good
Anderson?
question. No.
Oh, never mind.
No. She was working in Palm Springs doing reporting and some sports
How
there.
many Tollies could there be in sports? This is what I want to know.
In this market.
Let's see. Her last name is Latoy.
Oh, never mind.
Apparently,
so
at
more
least
than
two.
one. More than one.
Asked and answered.
Sorry. All right.
So I'm off tonight, and I can enjoy the mostly sportsless evening on the day after the All-Star game.
Well, I feel like we need to give you an assignment of some sorts if you're just going to be...
What do you think I'm doing? I've got the afternoon off.
Golfing?
Yes.
Where are you golfing?
Golfing with my dad.
Oh, you are?
Rancho Santa Fe.
Yeah. Very nice. Okay. So tonight, what should Ben watch?
It's a good question. I don't have any plans at the moment.
Is there anything that you...
We just started The Bear. We watched the first episode of season 3.
It's spectacular.
So if probably would be heading in that direction.
If you don't binge
The Bear,
that, which I recommend, it's great. But also, it's nice to stretch it out. I didn't, and I wish I had.
I crushed it in one weekend.
Me too, and now I'm like, I have nothing. I spent some time a couple nights ago with a very old friend. A movie, Ben, that I think you would really enjoy, and it's called Crazy Heart.
Oh, yes.
Jeff Bridges is in it. Colin Farrell is in it. And Maggie Gyllenhaal is in it. And it's the fictional story of Bad Blake, broken down country singer with still a little bit left to prove. Jeff Bridges is...
Sounds a little Star is Born-ish.
Star is Born is... Yeah, exactly. But it's not... It's not.
Did Jeff Bridges win an award for that?
He did. He sings and plays, and you watch this character, you're like, you're Bad Blake. So I had forgotten, I love that movie so much, I'd forgotten it. And I remembered it the other night, and I watched it, and it put me at ease. It's such a good movie. If you get a chance to watch Crazy Heart. Watch Crazy Heart. It's really good. I'll expect your review.
It's on Max.
Oh, is it?
Now.
I've got Max.
I bought it.
Of course you did.
You know what they really need? If you Google a movie, the first thing that should come up is where is it available for free?
They do. They have it.
It's not that easy. I just did it. I don't see it. It doesn't say this is on Max right now.
Well, that means that it's you have to rent it. I'll give you $4.
I've got it, but I don't have a listing for anything. It doesn't say where it is, other than Watch Now, $3.59.
Yeah, I'll give you $4. I just said.
Yeah, but
yeah, that's how you do it.
Yeah, that's where it's available. So right now it's not streaming anymore.
So it's not streaming. Do you have iTunes? You do. Yeah, I'll give you the $4.
Amazon Prime.
Crazy Heart on me.
Prime Video.
Crazy Heart on Woods tonight. Right.
It's so good, man. It's so good. Yeah, he is in a band and stuff in real life. So obviously but the role he plays, Bad Blake.
It's really, really good.
It's
I love
so
that movie.
Good. I love it too.
I remember when it came out, I went and saw it in theaters, and I thought my biggest takeaway was all of this music is good music.
Yes.
Somebody, Like, artists spend years putting together an album.
Right.
And this was a movie.
It was a movie
and
soundtrack.
The whole soundtrack could have been a current country album.
It's better than any new country
Right.
that's out there, by far.
And I go, somebody had to, like, write all these songs.
Ryan Bingham.
Do all of the music.
Ryan Bingham did
and
it.
you're like, and it's just not I don't want to say getting wasted, but it's just all going
to
straight
a
to a movie.
Yeah, Ryan Bingham did a lot of the songs there. The Weary Kind he wrote. It'll knock your socks off. It's that good. And he's like the surliest old drunk, and it's just fantastic. You will really love it. T-Bone Burnett, I think, did some songs for that record, too. It's really good.
Oh, Tim says the World Series of Poker Final Table is on tonight. Haven't watched that in a while.
I could see you watching that.
I hear it's the largest ever main event in World Series of Poker history. I had a buddy who made it to the fourth day. Wasn't even close to making the money. Was in the main event of the World Series of Poker.
It's crazy.
So.
Crazy. All right, let's do...
All right, we'll check traffic,
Oh, boy.
and then when we come back, what do we call this? Padres Heartbeat?
Padres Heartbeat. You're going to love it or you're going to hate it.
We chronicle the first half of the season. Wins and losses.
Listen to this. Jack Bridges. So good. You'll love it.
All right, I like Jeff Bridges.
He's amazing.
It's coming up after Check Traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Kelly Danick.
This northbound 805 just won't quit. Couple of earlier crashes, now a new one right before University. Looks like a couple vehicles involved in this one, including a semi. It's over to the right shoulder. Also going to find on the northbound 15, just before the 805, some sort of large debris in the slow lane. Southbound 5 coastline before Loma Santa Fe. There is a collision over the right shoulder. Cordell traffic cam shows this collision westbound 56 past Camino del Sur. That is now in the center divide. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
So, Paulie, what represents a win and what represents a loss?
Yes.
For the San Diego Padres.
We did this.
here?
I had to go back and try to find when we did this. It was several years ago. It was 2021. We did.
We haven't done it since?
No.
What is our problem?
And we
Probably because people hated it.
Yeah, we bailed maybe a month in.
We were doing it every day.
Wait, this is just one time.
This is the one time, the first half recap. So in 2021, we had 2 sound drops, one for a win, one for a loss. Put them all together. Here's how it sounded.
Yes! Ding it! Yes! Ding it!
So I had to come up with different.
Oh, okay. So you've mixed it up here.
Yes. So let's see.
Yes.
For a win, you will hear. And for a loss, you will hear.
Suck. So this is 99 games, and you'll get a sense of like the rhythm of the season.
The rhythm, yeah, it's the rhythm.
They lost opening day in Korea against the Dodgers. They won the next day, so that's how it'll start, and then you'll just get an idea of the ups and downs. The 5-game losing streaks, the winning runs, especially kind of there in June.
I made this last night, and I go already. I don't know that we make it through the end of this.
All right. Are we ready?
99.
Right. Starting Wednesday, March 20th, ending Sunday, July 14th. Here is the Ben & Woods Heartbeat of the Padres.
I'm glad we waited till the end for this.
First half of the season. Here we go. Suck. Suck, suck. Suck, suck. 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 Nice. Suck, suck, suck. Suck. Suck, suck, suck,
Oh,
suck.
Philly sweep.
Oh, my God. Bounce back.
Nice.
Suck. Suck. 2 or 3 from the Dodgers.
Suck.
That's nice. Suck, suck,
Oh, Rockies.
Suck. Suck, suck. Suck, suck. Suck. Couldn't finish off the sweep of the Marlins. Suck, suck, suck,
Angels.
suck, suck. Oh. Suck. First sweep against the A's
Suck,
there. Suck, suck.
And then the
suck,
Mets.
Suck.
And the Phillies. Yep.
All right, here we go. Suck. Sweep the Nats. Take the first two in Boston. Suck. And now suck. And there you go. That is the first half of the San Diego Padres season.
Michelle said, imagine turning on the radio to this. That's so uncomfortably. Oh, God. I made it like, I'd say like 40 was my cutoff. We had 59 to go after that. This is our job, by the way. This is our job.
I think it's kind of telling and educational.
It really is. It kind of is.
Gives you a really feel for the first half of the season.
The suck is fantastic. Suck.
Early on, it was more back and forth. Like they'd win one, lose one, win one, lose one. But then after the first month or so, it was these jags of bunch of wins, maybe a loss thrown in, and then a bunch of losses, and then a bunch of wins. And it was like that through the end of the first half of the season.
Can you imagine if we truly updated that every day and did that every day?
People they'd be coming after us. You know what I mean?
No, not every day. But I feel like at the end of the season, we should do it one more time after 162.
Holy
God.
crap.
For the whole...
Another 63 games added on to the end.
My God.
I mean, hopefully, all the way through the playoffs, if you can end with a
bang,
then you win the World Series. Every other team, ends in a suck.
Brandon says never again. I'm sorry, man. It has to happen.
Suck.
Oh, that's so good. Well
suck.
done.
Too many of those, you get eliminated.
That's right. Cannot have too many more sucks coming up.
You need more. You need
more laughs.
And less sucks the rest of the way if you want to make the postseason.
Jocelyn says we're in our van. My daughter just said, "What is wrong with them?" Jocelyn and Jocelyn's daughter. So much is wrong with us.
I partly blame the All-Star break on it. There's only so much you can do during the All-Star break. If you missed it earlier, we were randomly FaceTiming people on our phones.
Yeah, it was great.
On the air.
Great segment.
Paulie and I didn't connect with anyone. Woods went 2 for 2, amazingly. First, got Skip Schumacher to answer.
Yep, he was at Starbucks.
During his All-Star break, getting coffee for the fam. And then you got Andy Buckley to answer. Played David Wallace on The Office.
Yeah, it was
elite.
elite.
On your honeymoon.
It was elite.
2 for 2.
Yeah, 2 for 2. It was really, really fun.
Brian O'Grady texted me about 5 minutes after
Did
the
he?
segment. He goes, crap, I just woke up, bro.
Oh, no.
At least he didn't wake him up.
He's got 2 little kids. He's like, he probably would have loved the distraction, man. That was a lot of fun. Fun show today. Let's end on a look back before we get out of here. Not outside. A look back. Not behind you.
What are we looking back
February?
Some of the top moments from the first half of our year as show.
Yep.
Yeah, let's go back to February 14th.
Now, what day would that be?
Valentine's
Day. And I thought to myself, well, I need Ben to read this because I want to hear him read this romantic song from a guy we know very well, Barry White. I was unfamiliar with it, and I said, well, this is...
A little foreplay here.
This is perfect. This is absolutely perfect. So if you would, Paulie...
Let's Get It On.
This is Love Serenade.
Love Serenade. Oh, how sweet.
Barry White. Yeah, this is for all the ladies out there, okay? So just close your eyes and listen.
Listen to Ben Higgins.
This is a real
song. This was recorded.
Okay. Take it off. Baby, take it all off. I want to see you the way you came into the world.
Oh, my God.
I don't want to feel no clothes. I don't want to see no panties. And take off that brassiere, my dear. Everybody's gone.
I forgot you
I'm
said
taking
that.
the receiver off the phone because, baby, you and me, this night, we're going to get it on to Love Serenade. You know I get in these moods. Well, you know how it is. And I'm very glad to know that you feel the same way, too. Baby, we're going to lay here, and we're going to make love. And we're going to do it like it's supposed to be done.
Oh, my God.
Heaven only knows what goes on behind closed doors. The very depth of our souls will reach out tonight, you and me, baby, in Love Serenade. Make me want you. Tempt me. Tempt me. Tempt me. Make me need you. Let me long for you. You know what it's like when a man and woman become one. And the only real way you can do that, baby, is when we're making love to each other. when you reach that simple feeling when you're making love, it's like you're in another world. Help me. Help me. Oh, baby, help me. Lord, have mercy on me. By Barry White.
I had a love serenade this morning.
Did you?
I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you see any panties? Because I don't want to see no panties.
I'm leaving. I have to go. I don't know what just happened.
Adam says Barry White lived in Point Loma. Had no idea.
Did not know that either.
Should have him in studio sometime.
He's dead. Okay. I think he is.
I think so too. Oh, do we have more of that for tomorrow?
More of what?
Best of the first half.
Oh,
of
yeah, we got more best.
Ben and Woods,
But
24.
I'm just going to ignore it, Paul. You should do the same.
Yeah. I don't know how to tease what's coming up tomorrow.
You can't. What time? 6?
Yeah.
Right out of the chute.
Right.
You're going to want to be here right from the start.
Right from the get-go.
Sounds like I maybe don't want to be here.
No, you do.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
No, you do. You absolutely want to
Okay.
be here. You, of all people, want to be here.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's going to be another fun one tomorrow.
Okay.
Look, man, the wheels are off. They're clearly off.
That's going to be one 6 a.m. If you can find your way to a computer, smartphone,
Yeah, you wanna
smart
watch.
TV, pull us up on YouTube. You might want to watch that one.
Let's just put it this way. There's a first time for everything.
I've done it before.
I don't think
You haven't
you
done
have.
this.
You haven't done this.
This is not okay. That's not that.
What did you think
Well,
I was
don't know.
talking
We were
about?
just
What did
talking
you
about.
think I
have
was
no
bringing
idea,
in here?
No,
Did you think I was bringing a prostitute in here?
A little bit, yeah. That's you.
Hey Ben, yeah, we're gonna film. I know it's All-Star Weekend. We're gonna film you with a prostitute making
And did you
love.
say you've done this
Did you
before?
say you've done this before?
What the hell is happening right now?
He has
Not
lost his mind.
No.
All right, well, 6 a.m. It's gonna be great. Enjoy
All right,
your sports watching today.
Thank you.
Crazy
Very
hard.
little of it to be done on this Wednesday. But you do have Andy and Elston coming up next. They will carry you somehow through 2 o'clock.
Yeah, somehow, some way.
It's as difficult as the last 4 hours. I feel for
today
them.
was a breeze.
I feel for them
A
coming up here.
breeze.
Paulie, good job as always. Seems like he has to work a little bit harder
He
on
does.
days like this.
He
and he always
definitely
comes
does.
through for us. Our executive producer and imaging director for Stephen Woods. I'm Ben Higgins. Have a great rest of your day from all of us here at San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. So long, everybody.